Wow, this is big text. Maybe it can be smaller. Whoa, the thing is so outline. Wow, that's something. Let's down the font a little. Oh, now that's a bit. Oh, that was awful. Maybe it doesn't work with the text size being so. Oh well, is there something else to it? No, no, it looks so ugly. Wait, why is? Oh, it went back to. Ah, it's because I didn't. Whatever. Let me just not use that one then. Maybe we can use like. Oh, why does this one look good? Okay. This one. Yeah. Oh, why is it so tiny? What the heck? What? Hello, Gengen. Yeah, hold on. Let me like restore this size or something. Transform, reset. Oh, there we go, that's better. I'll put it like in the middle of the screen. How about that? Maybe I'll put it like here. There we go. Alright, sure.
Midori no pen, green pen. Wakarimashita ka? Have you understood? Wakarimasu ka? Do you understand? Now, we're not going to talk about non-adjectives until I think lesson 11. If it's even in book 1. I believe it is in book 1. But we're not going to talk about it for a while. But here we go. I'm going to show you one as an example. Shizuka means quiet, okay? And hito means person. So if you're a quiet person, you have to say shizuka na hito. Shizuka na hito. And that's how non-adjectives works. Later on, we do non-adjectives. I'll tell you why they're non-adjectives and why they're e-adjectives. And I want you to know, I spoke Japanese now for... I went to Japan when I was 12. I am 43. That's 31 years of experience with Japan. And let's just say I didn't get good in Japanese until I was 17. So, can't do the math on that, but at least 25 years, right? So 25 years I spoke Japanese, but I only figured out non-adjectives and e-adjectives, why they existed, about 2 years ago when I was in Korea. And I was learning Korean, and something in Korean made me understand how it works. So, that's that going for me right there. Takes you that long to learn something, right? You're gonna get it right now. So let's go ahead and take everything that we know, and we're gonna make a big sentence here. Aka no kuruma wa anata no kuruma desu ka? You go ahead and think about that, and I'm gonna turn this TV on and off again. Translate that for me. Stream got stuck again. Not sure why. So what does this mean? Anata no aka no kuruma wa anata no kuruma desu ka? Aka no kuruma wa anata no kuruma desu ka? It means, what's the topic? Everything before the wa is the topic or part of the topic. Aka no kuruma is before the wa. The topic is a car. What kind of car? It's directly modified. It is a red car. What are we going to ask about the red car? Because everything after a wa is a question about the topic or a statement about the topic. So, what about it? Anata no kuruma desu ka? Is it your car? Is the red car your car? So, that's just using everything we know now. We haven't learned anything new to say that. So how would you say, or actually, what does this mean? Anata no kuruma wa nani iro desu ka? Anata no kuruma wa nani iro desu ka? Anata no kuruma wa, topic is your car. The question we're asking is, what color is it? Mine's white, by the way. Watashi no kuruma wa shiro desu. Watashi no kuruma wa shiro desu. Murasaki no makura wa watashi no desu. This is the last one. Murasaki no makura wa watashi no desu. Try saying that. It's kind of hard. Murasaki and makura all together. Murasaki no makura wa watashi no desu. What's the topic? Pillow, makura. Hopefully you remember that. What kind of pillow is it? Murasaki no makura. It is a purple pillow. What about that? What's the statement? It's mine. Watashi no desu. Now, I want you to go through the lesson again. If there's anything that you understand, go through the lesson again. It's in there. And watch the video after you've been through the lesson. And in worst case scenario, post a question in the comments. I'll see you all in the next lessons video, which is lesson... Next one's good. Lesson 5 is all about likes and dislikes. And this is where you really start to be able to say things in a conversation. We'll see you then. Tane. All right, continuing on our journey, we are now going to go through Course 1, Lesson 5. This is where things start getting really interesting. We're going to combine all of the grammar that we've learned up until now. We're going to catch them all. It's going to be amazing. Today's going to be all about liking and disliking. And this is a fairly simple thing to do. We don't have to really learn any new grammar. But there are some interesting things as we go through them that are different than English. Let's just call it that. So here we go. Also, you have to know tachitsuteto and dajitsuteto. Now, keep in mind, this ji and this zu, not as commonly used as the other ji and zu that you learned in sashi suseso. So just keep that in mind. You will see these, but not as much. All right. So we do need to learn some new words. Not any new phrases, but just some new words. First one is ski. Ski. It's kind of like saying ski, like skiing. Even though it is Suki, and even though you watched that vampire show and the girl's name was Suki, that's not how it sounds. It's going to mostly sound like ski. Okay. Now, there will be times where, just like everything that, there's always an exception, where you will hear it as Suki, but it's very rare. It's going to almost always be ski. And we have dislike, which is the opposite of like. Notice I didn't say hate. And I also didn't say that it is don't like, because those are different things. This is like and dislike. So it's ski and kirai. Now, I want to point out, as we are getting better at Japanese, as we are going through the progressive version of lessons, we're running out of things that you don't know how to write in hiragana. Right now, we don't know ra, because we don't know ra, ri, ru, re, ro. And that's the last thing that you learn pretty much. That's the last main set of hiragana that you learn before we do 1 or 2 more lessons. So very exciting. We only have 4 more lessons left where we'll know pretty much all the hiragana. So it's not that bad. It's just the beginning lessons where you have this mixed kind of weird system, but it takes a lot of the strain off of you. Okay, so ski, kirai, like, dislike. Then you've got daisuki. Daisuki. Again, not daisuki. Okay, not daisuki. Daisuki means to like it a lot. Dai, when you end up learning the kanji, you'll find out that means big. So it's a big like. You love it. But it's not love, even though it says to love. Now, here's the main difference. In America, in English, we very easily say, oh, I love this. Oh, I love this bug spray. This is, dude, like seriously, out of all the bug sprays, this is the one I love. Oh, I love blue scissors. Dude, seriously, I've only had orange scissors. I love the new color of these scissors. Japanese do not say they love. Now, they do have a verb for love. It is aisuru. Okay, and that becomes aishiteru. But it's aisuru. That's the base verb, okay, that you can find in the dictionary. That means to love. But Japanese people would never say, uwa, kono hasami aishiteru. I love these scissors. What they would say, though, is daisuki. Daisuki. Can I say it cute there for you? Because you know what? I like you guys a lot. I do. Daisuki. You know what else I daisuki? I daisuki Pokemon. I found an Onyx in the parking lot as I went to get the mail. I found an Onyx. Just saying, it's my 3rd Onyx. I'm pretty excited. Pretty excited. I just wish there was an upgrade for Onyx. I'm sorry, were we doing something? Yeah, we were learning Japanese. So I and you can love something, but it cannot be aisuru. That is crazy, weird. Matter of fact, while we're talking about it, if you like a girl and you're going to, or a boy, and you're going to say to them, in America, we'll say, you'll confess your love to them. We say, confess your love, right? So we say, I just want you to know, Mamiko, I love you. It's not that big of a thing, right? But in Japan, if you say, aishiteru yo, that's crazy. That's legit crazy. What you want to say to them is not even daisuki. You actually wanted to say to them, ski. And we'll get to that in a second. We'll get to the full sentence, because we're not there yet, right? We just want to say like, and you wouldn't just say, hey, Mamiko, like. You would make it into a sentence, wouldn't you? All right. One more. So we know how to say like it a lot. And the opposite of that is daikirai. Daikirai. Stupid bug spray. Daikirai. Hate this bug spray. Now that does mean hate. It means to dislike it a lot. This stupid bug spray doesn't even work. I sprayed it and cockroaches attacked me. Gokiburi ga kimashita. Gokiburi achikochi ittan desu yo. Gokiburi means cockroach. Okay. So, look at that word. It's beautiful, right? Like daikirai. Just one hiragana. One hiragana, we don't know. It's ra. Daikirai. I mean, I feel like I want to just give it to you, but no. Sometimes, and I'm being serious just for a moment, because YouTube comments, which I have been told are cancer, a form of cancer. YouTube comments kind of got me crazy a little bit this morning. I was answering them in these big, long, like, paragraphs, because I purposely am not teaching everything all at once. For example, I'll give you a quick example. We taught in one of the first lessons that Japanese doesn't have plurals, but there is a way to make plurals. Of course, there is a way. But it's so limited that if I had taught it to you in that first lesson, you would have been confused and you would have tried to make everything plural using this very limited way to make plurals. But there's always the student that's very aggressive and very eager, and I understand it, but you have to understand that on this channel, in this particular series, we are teaching in an order that is helpful to learning. If I make a rule and I say to you, there are no plurals in Japanese, and then in the next book, I say, by the way, remember when I said there were no plurals? There's kind of a way to do it, and here's how we do it, and here's why we do it. Then it would be a problem because you already know that there are no plurals in Japanese and that this is a very special case. But if a guy in YouTube, if you're reading by the way, a guy that hasn't read the textbook, hasn't lived in Japan for 30, not 30 years, I lived there for 9 years, I've been married to my Japanese wife for 12, we wrote all the textbooks. There's a lot of thought in what I teach. So the order that I'm teaching is on purpose. So when you come in with a comment, or if you read a comment that says, oh, by the way, it's just this, oh, and also this, and also this, well, you don't know, that's like studying from a dictionary almost. If you study from a dictionary, you're gonna have a bad time, because you don't know where those words come from, you don't know the context behind them. Didn't mean to get into a rant, but I needed to get the cancerous tumor out of my body. I know it looks like a Pokeball, but it's a big tumor. It's the YouTube comment. YouTube called me the other day, and I feel bad because now I feel like I'm trash talking them. They called me and they're like, we can help you make your channel better. They were nice, very nice. I love YouTube. Don't want to do that. Don't do that. Just please don't be cancerous, because I will shadow ban. Not the guys that are trying to help. I'm talking about the guys that call me all these bad names. It hurts, okay? Daikirai! Daikirai! So there's no grammar to learn in this lesson. Now that I've ranted quite heavily, I hope you're having fun. Does that hurt? There's no grammar. We already know everything we need to know in order to make sentences. If you want to say, do you like it? How do you say it? Based on your advanced understanding of Japanese grammar, you know that it is suki desu ka? Oh, look at that sentence. There's no romaji. There's no romanization in that entire thing. That's because you guys have put in the effort and you've gotten through lesson 4 and you know all the hiragana up to this point. Suki desu ka? Do you like it? Do you like what we're doing? Suki desu ka? I don't even know anything else to say to that. Like, suki desu ka? How would you say, I'm not even going to give you the answer yet. I'm not even going to, there's another thing I want to talk about, but how would you say, yeah, I like it? Hai, suki desu. Now we don't, well, how would you say, no, I don't like it? No, I dislike it, actually. It's a very important distinction. Iie, kirai desu. Kirai desu. Hurts. Kirai desu ka? Do you dislike it? Kirai desu ka? So what, using your advanced grammar, how would you say, what do you like? Now, stop. Don't go too quick. What do you like? We learned a rule in the last lesson. I believe it was the last one. In the last video, we have learned a rule. I don't know when it was, but it was that you can never have a wa directly after a question word. We're going to start a sentence with nani. Okay? So it cannot be nani wa. It has to be nani ga. Oh, I'm so sorry. You don't know that, Roman. Oh no, hang on. You do not know that yet. I forgot my rules. I'm going to go ahead and fix it. I was giving you all the hiragana that you do not know. Nani ga suki desu ka? I got overzealous. I was too excited that you guys already knew so much. Okay. All right. Fixing this last one. All right. I apologize. Sumimasen deshita. Okay. So, nani ga suki desu ka? What do you like? Now, this sentence could be longer. We could say, anata wa nani ga suki desu ka? The topic of this sentence is not what. It is you. You are the topic. That's why the wa is there. But Japanese sentences often assume the topic. They already know when they're talking to you that you are you. Not like English where we have to say to you, they just know. Because I'm looking right at you. Nani ga suki desu ka? What do you like? It's automatically there. But if I want to say the full sentence, I could say, anata wa nani ga suki desu ka? So now I'm going to fill my promise and tell you that there's going to be more rules between wa and ga. Here's another good one. Typically, you never want to have two wa's in a sentence because that would mean there's two topics, right? So if you've already used your wa, the next thing you should use when you think you want to use a wa is a ga, and that will get you correct most of the time. So if I say anata wa, then it's nani ga suki desu ka? Another way to think about it is that the thing that you like is marked with the subject marker, ga. It's the thing that is quote-unquote verb or liked or described, and that's what is happening. That is, the like is on top of the thing, so it's a ga. That makes no sense. On top of the thing. Gonna make sense in a second. So what if I want to say to somebody, what do you dislike? Nani ga kirai desu ka? That's kind of a weird question, but it's not a weird question after what do you like? Well, what do you like? What do you dislike? Nani ga suki desu ka? And then you go, well, I like tuna, and I like hamachi, I like the little fish egg thing. But what do you dislike? Oh, I hate hirame. Hirame ga kirai desu. Hirame ga kirai desu. That's the answer, right? So if someone says, nani ga suki desu ka? And they're asking you about Japanese food, your answer is, sushi ga suki desu. Or if they say, nani ga kirai desu ka and you don't like sushi, sushi ga kirai desu. Look at this one. I can change the question word from nani to dare. So maybe there's a girl, and she likes you, but she doesn't know who you like. So she walks up to you and she says, dare ga suki desu ka? Who do you like? You see? We didn't learn anything new. We're just applying what we know. Let's continue that. How would you say, which one do you like? You're presenting somebody with, let's just assume it was 3 different Pokemons in my hand. We got Pikachu, we got Squirtle, and we got a Snorlax, right? And I'm gonna ask you, which one do you like? Because I'm gonna give it to you, depending on which one you like. Dore ga suki desu ka? Which one do you like? Because I had 3, right? I had Pikachu, Squirtle, and Snorlax. So then I have to say, dore ga suki desu ka? If I only had Pikachu and Snorlax, which is a really tough decision, there's only 2 of them, so I cannot use dore, I must use dochi. Dochi ga suki desu ka? And we all know that majority of us are gonna say Pikachu. I like Pikachu. And look it up. Did you know that Snorlax is not the name in Japanese? I forgot what it was, but it's a completely different name. And even Squirtle is something game, which is some sort of turtle. So look, I might do a video on that for you guys. Okay? Using your advanced grammar, using your understanding of Japanese words, using just what we've learned in these videos alone, you can now say, what color do you like? What color do you like? I bet you said blue, but that's not what we're doing. What actual color do you like? How do you say that? What color do you like? Nani iro ga suki desu ka? Nani iro ga suki desu ka? And if you like blue, you would say, ao ga suki desu. If you like it a lot, ao ga daisuki desu. Ao ga daisuki desu. I love blue. You wouldn't say, I hate blue when someone asks you what color do you like. Later on, we'll learn a way to say, I like blue, but I hate red. But we're not there yet. We're going to add one word in a lesson or two that'll give you that ability. And all you're going to have to do is use the grammar you already know. You see, it's not that hard. Okay. I do want to add one thing here. You don't want to ask somebody, what do you love? That's an awkward question. You would not say, nani ga daisuki desu ka? I've heard Americans do that have learned Japanese, or foreigners that have done it. It's weird. Because we don't do that in English either. Hey, what do you love? I mean, yeah, you can ask it, but it's awkward. What do you love? What do you really like a lot? We normally say, what do you like? Okay, now, big sense. How would you... What does this mean? I'm not gonna ask how you say it, because it's a little bit complicated. So you see this, you hear this said to you. Nihon no tabemono, pause. Nani ga suki desu ka? Nihon no tabemono, nani ga suki desu ka? So, in this sentence, there is something missing, but it's not important. The Japanese that you hear is not gonna always have everything in it. And this is a common way that someone would ask you, do you know what it is? Nihon no tabemono means Japanese food. Tabemono means food, and Nihon no modifies it into Japanese food, right? Because if you have 2 nouns, remember, 2 nouns, when they're like that, they have to have a no in the middle. You can't connect 2 nouns without no, and that's what we're doing. Now we have a no adjective that we talked about in a prior video. Nihon no tabemono. Stop. Japanese food. What do you like? Nani ga suki desu ka? Now I'm going to tell you what's missing. For those of you that want to know, it is Nihon no tabemono no nani ga suki desu ka? What of Japanese food do you like? But we're going to talk about how no can be of in another lesson. But you don't need it here. You literally could just say, Nihon no tabemono nani ga suki desu ka? All right. And that could be anything. Maybe you like fish, so you would say sakana ga suki desu. Now before I go, I want to say
okay, not bad.
I'm debating if I should do this, but you know what? I do it in the life class when I taught. So there's one way to remember fish, sakana. It's suck on a fish. All right, that's it. Just trying to end on a high note. I'll see, and I apologize for my YouTube rant, but please be kind. I'll see you all on the next Japanese from Zero. We're going to talk about more in this lesson. We're going to talk about how to make things negative. This is extremely important. So stick around. I'll see you in a minute. Bye. Okay, we are back, and now we are going to talk about a concept called janai, making things negative with janai. And remember, you do need to know tachitsuteto and tajitsuteto. Now, before I go into this, very simply, this is just any noun plus janai makes it not that thing, not a blah, 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 okay? But I want to point out that if you are studying with other methods of Japanese, because we typically don't use one source to learn Japanese, we go to multiple sources, this janai concept has different versions. There is ja arimasen, and there is dewa arimasen, okay? Those two versions, oh, there's also, by the way, dewa nai. Okay, so there's three other ways to say it, but we're not going to use those three because the most common way that Japanese people say not is janai. Now, I had a friend that went to a college course, and he was telling me that his teacher forced him to always say dewa arimasen, but that is very stuffy. It's awkward to say dewa arimasen. It's like, so dewa arimasen. That is not the case. It's very awkward. So I would like you to use janai. It's not casual if there's a des following it. It's only casual if you don't have des. What you're going to hear me often say is, try to maintain a minimal level of politeness and don't be so casual until you know how to be casual. And the one way you do it is using des form, and what we're going to learn later on is called mus form. It's called des mus form. That's what we're going to call it, and I want you to remember that. So, janai by itself can be used without anything after it to say, I can just say, for example, this is water, right? Mizu. But this is not water. So I would say, mizu janai. But if I say it like that, mizu janai, mizu janai, it's kind of abrupt and awkward. If I don't know you, like you think I'm mad at you, hey, is that water? Not water. Mizu janai, mizu janai. You don't want that, right? If you watch anime, janai becomes jane, mizu jane, and that's very rude. And mizu janai is one step away from mizu jane, okay? We don't want that. We want to sound nice. So, to do that, we add des. So we'll say, mizu janai desu. There's nothing in between the janai and mizu. It's very common that people want to add a ga, but no, it's just mizu janai, mizu janai, mizu janai, mizu. Pen janaitis. Sounds like a sickness, like, yeah, went to the doctor today and it turns out I got pendinitis of the liver. Pendinitis. Let's test it out a little bit. Here we have this animal that we don't know what it is. But I'm going to ask you, because I think I know what it is. I think it's a dog. So I'm going to ask you, inu desu ka? Inu desu ka? There's two ways to answer. You can say what we learned before, iie neko desu. Iie neko desu. No, it's a cat. But what if I don't know what it is, but I know for certain it's not a dog, right? I mean, I know it's not a dog. Then I would just say, iie inu janai desu. No, it's not a dog. I didn't give any new information, I just told him it's not a dog. Whereas iie neko desu is like, oh yeah, I'm telling you what it is. Here I said, well, I know it's not a dog. Inu janai desu. Iie inu janai desu. Okay, let's imagine that we're looking for Mr. Tanaka. Actually, let's imagine that somebody asked you, are you Tanaka-san? Tanaka-san desu ka? Tanaka-san desu ka? Someone asks me, Tanaka-san desu ka? I'm not Tanaka, so I will respond as, Tanaka janai desu. That's polite. That's all you need to make it polite, by the way. Add that desu. If I said, Tanaka janai, that's what it sounds like. Tanaka janai. Like, whoa, don't be dismissive with me. I'm just asking you who you are. Tanaka janai desu. Now, some of you who are astute are thinking, where is the san? Remember, never can you put san on your own name. Like, well, I'm not Mr. Tanaka. Sounds okay in English, bad in Japanese. Tanaka janai desu. So, Tanaka janai desu. Okay, not Tanaka. I am not Tanaka. But what if we were pointing at a man, and I said to my friend, hey, is that Mr. Tanaka? Tanaka-san desu ka? Ah, yeah, Tanaka-san janai desu. Now he's not Tanaka-san, because we're talking with someone else, and you want to maintain san. Let me tell you a quick story. I was dating this girl named Yoko, and we were in a city called Sendai, and don't ask me why, but I was selling balloons in front of a supermarket. And there was a girl that was selling flowers. And Yoko went to the bathroom, and I started talking to this girl. I can't remember her name, but let's go to my go-to name, Mamiko. And I was talking to Mamiko. We were having a nice little conversation. And when Yoko came back, I said something to Yoko about Mamiko. I said, oh yeah, Mamiko ga. I said Mamiko ga because she was the subject. And I was saying what she was doing. I said, Mamiko ga something. And Yoko was so upset. She was mad at me. Why? What did I do wrong? I took san off of Mamiko's name. She wasn't mad because I was being rude to Mamiko, because I wasn't. She was mad because I made the relationship with me and Mamiko much more casual by taking the san off, and it looks like we had more. Because I can call Yoko, but I don't have to call her san because she's my girlfriend. I say, oh, Yoko. But my friends, I'm still going to add san on their name. And people that I know, I'm going to add san on their name. One more story while we're doing stories. I was in Yoko's house, and her grandfather was there. And he was in the war. And he was drinking a lot of sake. Sake is alcohol. And he started getting a little bit drunk. And Yoko was making something for me, like gyoza or something. She was cooking something for me. And the grandfather was talking to me. And as he's talking, he's getting more and more drunk. He's like, and by the way, older people, they will talk a lot more casual down to you because they have earned it in life. They're not going to always speak polite to people below you, especially when that's the grandfather and I'm the boyfriend and an American in our house. And he said, I went to the war, but I fought in the Philippines, but I really wanted to kill Americans. He was pretty intense at that point for me. But then as he drank, and I'm trying to be polite talking to him, he started mumbling and he was using big words that I didn't know at the time because I was like 18. And I said, Yoko, what is he saying? Something like that. I said, Yoko, something. and he blew up. He went, Yobiste suru! That's what he did. Yobiste means throwing away the calling. Don't drop the san. So this has been an ongoing discussion recently in the Japan chat room, the Japanese chat room, about casualness, and I've been trying to pull people back from being so casual because it makes you look arrogant and it causes problems that you're not going to be expecting. And if you are, I've said this before, but there will be people that will stop talking to you because you're not polite, and it's not, they don't know. If I all of a sudden saying, yo, bro, yo, what's up, bro? Yo, bro, I'm gonna teach you some Japanese. If I opened up the video saying, yo, bro, today we're gonna be learning some real cool stuff, you would not have the respect for me that you have when I'm talking in normal English. Okay, all right. Moral of the story, don't put san on your own name, but when you're talking about other people, put san on there, and don't casually drop the des. Because they need that des. They like des must form. It's the staple of Japanese society. Okay. I feel like this is the second video in a row where I ranted. One was YouTube, now I'm ranting about casual and polite. Okay, so what if someone asks you, American desu ka? American desu ka? But what if you're not American? What if you're Canadian or Australian, or you're from Brazil? Well, you're not American, right? So how would you say, no, I'm not American? Iie, American janai desu. Iie, American janai desu. Okay, that's nouns. Now there's one more type of word that can use janai. Now we're going to use janai in other places also, but right now we're learning the basics, okay? Na-adjectives, which we really don't know any, right? We haven't really learned any, but except for one example, right? We learned shizuka in one of the videos prior to mean quiet, like a quiet person. We said shizuka na hito, shizuka na hito. So if you want to say not quiet, you just add the janai after. Shizuka janai means not quiet. But it also says don't. Don't quiet doesn't make any sense. Well, I'm going to tell you a secret. In this lesson, we have learned 2 more na-adjectives, which is weird for English. Because ski and kirai are what we learned. And in English, those are verbs. To like and to dislike are verbs. But in Japanese, they are adjectives. And they must be used exactly like adjectives. That's why ski and kirai use ga, because it's a descriptive. And typically, you're describing something, you use ga after the thing you're describing. So, I might have spoke too fast right now, but as you're learning Japanese and as you review these videos and as you see more, you'll know what I mean. Adjectives normally use ga on the thing they're talking about. Okay? Unless there's a reason for making wa. So, ski and kirai, you can make them negative by adding janai to them. So if you want to say don't like, ski janai, or ski janai desu, right? Ski janai desu. Kirai janai. Now kirai janai is a really great phrase. It means you don't dislike it. Japanese people, I'm gonna say this delicately. Japanese people are not as direct as we are in America and in other countries. A lot of, like for example, Koreans are extremely direct. When I go to Korea, they say exactly what they think. And Japanese don't. Japanese people are very, I think, I don't want to sound negative, they're wishy-washy, but they do it in ways that they don't commit to a certain thing. They don't want to hurt someone else's feelings, so they would never say to you, kirai desu. They would never say that they hate you, right? They typically would say, and I say typically because there's always those rule breakers, but most people are going to say, ski janai desu. I don't like. Don't like is much kinder than kirai, and certainly way kinder than daikirai, okay? But, you know what's even better is, kirai janai desu. That's common. For example, kirai janai desu means I don't dislike you, right? That's really not committing anything. So for example, let's say that you ask, and I always say a girl because I'm a guy, but let's say you ask somebody, watashi ga suki desu ka? Do you like me? Now, see how ga marks the thing that you like, and I am that thing? So I could have an anata wa in front, but it's not necessary because I know who you are. I know that I'm talking to you. Anata wa watashi ga suki desu ka? I can also say, by the way, does Mamiko like me? Mamiko-san wa watashi ga suki desu ka? Does Mamiko-san, the topic of the sentence, like me, the subject of the sentence? Now, if I want to let you down nicely, and the girls will do that because they are brought up in a society of being kind to people and not hurting other people's feelings as casually as we do in America. You know what you did to me, Jennifer? Sorry. She's going to say to you, kirai janai desu. I don't dislike you, right? Or she might say, oh, I think we're really great friends. I'm going to friend zone you right away, but it's going to be very nice. Kirai janai desu. All right? You don't want to hear, ski janai desu. I don't like you. I mean, that's pretty harsh. Hurts right here in the Pokeball. Okay? So, ski janai desu. Don't like you. Don't like it. Don't like you. Don't like her. Whatever the topic is, right? Whatever the context makes it. If you're lucky and you say, watashi ga suki desu ka? And they say, daisuki desu. You're in. That's your girlfriend or your boyfriend. Daisuki desu. I like you a lot. It doesn't mean I love you, even though we talked about it. In English, it means I love you. Oh yeah, I love you. That's a different love, though, right? You say I love you, it's different. I love. It's the best. It's the best bug spray ever. I mean, I love it. That's daisuki. Love with a girl or a boy is going to be aisu, right? Don't do it until you're like real boyfriend, girlfriend. Right now, just only use daisuki. And the one thing you don't want to hear, of course, daikirai. Wow, you really misjudged Mamiko when you asked her if she liked you and she actually hated you. But I love you guys all, and I'll see you all on the next video where we're going to talk about a very short topic, the one pronoun. That doesn't mean there's only one pronoun, it means we're going to talk about the one pronoun. I'll see you then. Bye. Hello, welcome to the final, hopefully final video of Lesson 5. We've covered so far likes and dislikes and making nouns and non-adjectives negative in the first 2 videos. Now we're going to talk about something called the one pronoun. And remember, you do need to know tachitsudeto and its counterpart with the dakuten. Okay, so let's look at some words that we can already say. We know aka is red, ao is blue, oishii is delicious, amai, we don't know this word, I put it in here, special. Amai means sweet, like salty and sweet, not sweet. It means this candy is sweet. Amai, amai. Nihon means Japan. And we learned in another lesson, but now the only difference is that we have hiragana for it. We learned to, which was to before. Now we know tachitsuke to. To is and in Japanese. So if we say Nihon to Italia, Italia means Italy, so we're saying Japan and Italy. Now what the one pronoun is we are going to turn these into the red one by adding no. The red one, akano. And the blue one, ao no. Oishii no, the delicious one. Keep in mind, there is another no that we're going to learn in another lesson that is different when it comes after oishii no. It means something else. But right now, it makes it the delicious one. Oishii no. Amai no. The sweet one. Amai no. Nihon no. The Japanese one. That's what that means. The Japanese one. Now remember, Nihon no can also mean Japanese something something. But when there's nothing after it, you cannot have anything after these because then the one pronoun disappears and it's replaced with that thing that comes after it. For example, if I said, where'd my pen go? This is white, but if I said akano pen, now it's the red pen. But if I pull away the pen and I say akano, the red one, okay? If there's nothing there in English, we require the word one to replace the noun that's not there. That's why the one pronoun exists, okay? And if you want to say the Japanese and Italian ones, or one, because it can be plural, we know this, Nihon to Italiano. For example, if I asked you, hey, what kind of cars do you like? You could say, Nihon to Italiano ga suki desu. Nihon to Italiano ga suki desu. If you want to say, I like Japanese and Italian cars, well then that would be Nihon to Italiano kuruma ga suki desu. But if I'm saying, I like Japanese and Italian ones, Nihon to Italiano ga suki desu. Does that make sense? What kind of food do you like? Amai no ga suki desu. I like sweet ones. Sweet. It doesn't have to mean one, it can mean sweet things. Amai no ga suki desu. I like the sweet ones. Okay? Alright. So let's go ahead and put this into practice, and I'm going to ask you a question. Dore ga oishii desu ka? Now this is the first time we've really done a sentence like that. Okay? We haven't really used dore ga so much in the beginning. So if I'm holding three things up, or I'm trying to choose out of these 3 or 4 types of foods in front of me, I'm going to ask my friend for advice. Say, dore ga oishii desu ka? Which one tastes good? And he could answer, or she could answer, aka to ao no ga oishii desu. Aka to ao no ga oishii desu. It means the red and blue ones are delicious. Now, the only thing that makes this sentence a little bit weird is that it could mean the ones that are red and blue, or the red ones and the blue ones. This sentence could mean both. If we want to make it completely obvious that we mean the red ones and the blue ones, then you could just add another no right here. Aka no to ao no ga oishii desu. That would mean now, without any ambiguity, the red ones and the blue ones are delicious. But alone, aka to ao no ga oishii desu could mean both. I think that's a little bit confusing. But again, it's all context. You would be looking at them in front. There would be just a blue one and just a red one. In that case, you would know, okay, the red ones and the blue ones. But let's say they were multicolored. There would only probably be one that was red and blue at that point, and it would be obvious. Not in a textbook, though. It's not obvious in a textbook. You can like the brown ones. Chairo no ga oishii desu. Those are good. Was I saying suki desu the whole time? I'm saying oishii for delicious. Chairo no ga oishii desu. Now, what if you were at like a party where everyone brought food, right? And someone wanted to know, hey, what tastes good, like out of these things that you've eaten?
Good
and you like what they brought. So you
but-
can say to them, anata no ga oishii desu. Yours is delicious. Now, this is not a case of a one pronoun, but it's really doing the exact same thing.
My pace is
the
not
difference is
bad,
that English
though.
has to add the word one, and that's why it's called the one pronoun, because English requires it to do that. Japanese, it's the same grammar. Okay, nothing unique there. All right, thank you for watching. There's actually no end of my slideshow.
Happy to
There's nothing there
at
but black,
least.
but you know what? Kuroi no ga suki desu. I like the black ones. I'll see you all on the next video, which is going to be lesson 6. What do we do in lesson 6? We learn to say want and things that you want, and we learn another way to make things negative. We cannot use deny with an e adjective. We're going to learn how to make an e adjective into a negative in the next video. I'll see you all there.
Oh,
Bye bye.
Alright, have a good night, guys. Let's pop it on.
Hello and welcome back to Japanese from Zero. This is lesson 6 that we're going to be talking about. But before I actually talk about what we're going to do in lesson 6, I want to remind everyone that's watching, please, for the love of whatever created this universe, go back and make sure that you have watched all the videos leading up to this one, because YouTube comments are killing me. You got some people are asking questions that I literally just covered 3 or 4 videos back. Or one guy, actually, one of the top comments was, is this sentence correct? And he broke a rule that I just caught in the very lesson that he's posting under. And I made a big deal out of it in the lesson. So 2 requests. 1, pay attention. You know who you are. Mr. Nani-wa, starting a sentence and with a question word and using wa after it. I know what you're gonna say, because everyone does it, oh, I'm working on 4 hours sleep. That is like legit the lamest. Like, you guys gotta forgive me, I'm working on 3 hours sleep. Like, really? Okay, alright. It's not that you didn't know, it's not that you didn't make a mistake, you're just tired. And you didn't watch the video. Alright. Now let's get into it. Today we are going to talk about making e adjectives negative. This skill that we're going to learn in this lesson is going to carry you so far, because this skill later on will apply to verbs. Oh, excuse me, I have no voice today. I sang a lot of karaoke the other night. So this skill works with verbs later on, but right now we're going to do everything in adjectives, okay? And you will need to know na, ni, nu, ne, no. I'm so excited because so many of the sentences that I'm putting in the PowerPoints now are all hiragana. I mean, we're so close. Let's get to some new words that are taught in this lesson and that are very important. Again, I'm not putting all the words that you need to know. All the words that you need to know are in the book under the new words section, or in the course in the new words section online. So first word is hoshi, hoshi. Now we just don't know the ho yet. We don't know the ho. Sometimes you don't know the ho yet. We don't know ha, hi, hu, he, ho yet, not just the ho. Hoshi means to want something. Now, I want to point out that hoshi in English, to want something, is a verb. But in Japanese, it is, just like ski and kirai, it is an adjective. But if you remember from the prior video, ski and kirai were not adjectives. Well, hoshi is an e adjective, and that's going to be very important today. Okane. Okane means money. Very important. Everyone needs money. And mochiron. Now, I'm not even going to use mochiron in this lesson, but just like when I taught tabun, it's a nice short answer, maybe, or of course, or yes, or no. These are all great short answers, so I just want you to make sure that mochiron. Mochiron means of course. And, whoa, holy moly, that is a big typo. That shouldn't even be there. Atarashi, first of all, does not mean to hate or to dislike a lot. That is obviously me not properly editing the PowerPoint. That means new. So we're going to go ahead and fix that. Good. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. So atarashi means new. And what is to hate or to dislike a lot? What is that in Japanese? It's daikirai. Daikirai. We learned that a lesson back. For those of you that actually watched the prior videos, you did learn that. For those of you who didn't, I welcome the comment in YouTube. How do I say I like cats? Where I then shadow ban you from YouTube. I wouldn't do that. Now, look, let me just say this. There are no dumb questions, but that's a dumb question. When you ask right under the video that teaches it, is this correct? And you have a mistake that I purposely made a big deal about. That's not a dumb question. It's dumb timing. It's bad timing, okay? It's an irritating question. I know you know who you are. Now, it's not a personal attack on you. It's an attack on your question. Okay, so we have atarashi. Atarashi means new. And look, we only don't know the ra. There's ra do oh, we don't know that yet. We don't know the ho, and we don't know the ra. All right, old is furui. Furui. Oh, you know what we do know? We know the... Do we know this yet? No. If we don't know the ho, we can't know the fu. That's because it's ha, hi, fu, he, ho, which is coming up in the next lesson. So old is furui. It is the opposite of atarashi. And it wasn't on screen. I apologize. There it is. It's on screen. All right, hot. Atsui. This is a great word to know. Atsui. And the opposite of hot is samui. Samui. And we don't know mu yet. All right, now let's talk about this just for a second. When something is cold, let's say it's cold outside, that is samui. But if this water is cold and I'm holding it, it is not samui. Japanese splits this concept into two things. It becomes tsumetai. Tsumetai. So the water in here is tsumetai, cold to the touch. It's not samui. Samui is weather, basically. I mean, really. Also, let's give you a little bit of a bonus. If you say something like a bad joke, that is also samui. Japanese will tell you that, like I hear it all the time, because I say these really pun type things. I say a lot of puns in Japanese, and they just go samui. It just means bad joke. Okay, it's a cold joke. Whereas in English, we say she's cold, like she's a cold person. Oh my God, she is so cold. Well, in Japanese, they don't say samui for that kind of person. They say tsumetai. Oh, you're so tsumetai. You could be, when I touched you, tsumetai, but also you can be a cold person by being tsumetai. But now we're just talking about soups and drinks and the weather. Now I'm going to give you, because there's a lot of adjectives in this lesson, there's two adjectives that cause problems for foreigners. And one of them we know. We know this bonus word, kawaii. There's even a song by Avril Lavigne. It goes something like, kawaii or something. Kawaii. It's really, really bad. But it's in that song. And we all know kawaii, right? We all know kawaii, I hope. And it means cute. And it's like basically Japanese culture is defined by being kawaii. Now notice, kawaii has two e's at the end of it. So it's kawaii. Kawaii. Here's the problem. A lot of people mess this up. They say it wrong, and it sounds like this. Kawaii. Kawaii means scary. So they will look at something that is cute, and they're thinking they're saying cute, but they say, kawaii, kawaii, it's so scary. That could become a bad, you don't want to call a girl scary. Okay, some girls are scary. So here's the difference. Again, kawaii. Kawaii versus kawaii. Kawaii, not kawaii. Kawaii, kawaii. Kawaii. Sorry, I like to do it. Now, so we're learning all these adjectives. They are all E adjectives. Before we do a negative E adjective, let's review what we already know about making things negative. We know a noun plus janai, and we also know that E adjectives are different than non-adjectives, right? Remember that, because non-adjectives plus janai also become not a, or don't something. So, for example, we have inu janai. Inu janai, it's not a dog. Neko janai, not a cat. Who farted? Who farted? Watashi janai, not me. Watashi janai, not me. Now, we can also do that with, remember, ski and kirai, because they are not adjectives. They can be made into negatives by adding janai. So, ski desu, I like it. Ski janai desu, I don't like it. Kirai desu, I dislike it. Kirai janai desu, they very softly let you down when someone asks if you like them, or if they like you. Kirai janai desu, I don't dislike you. That means they dislike you. Should point that out. Okay, so what do we do with E adjectives? Well, what you cannot do is say janai after it. You cannot say atsui janai to mean it's not hot. Okay? I want to point out one more thing before we continue. Before I see this comment in YouTube, yes, there are times where janai can come after atsui, but it does not make it negative. Okay? We're not going to talk about it right now because I'm trying to bring you guys to a level of Japanese where you're not confused. So right now, I need you to know this rule, until I teach you otherwise. The rule of atsui janai is solid. You can never say an E adjective followed by janai to mean not that thing. Wakarimasu ka? Okay. So you cannot do that. Erase it from your brain. What you have to do is, and the rule is 100% solid, always, without exception, you're going to say minus the E, so becomes atsu, and then you're going to add this thing called kunai. Atsukunai. It becomes a new word, whereas janai is kind of separated. This is a new word meaning to not be hot. Atsukunai. Let's practice. Samui, cold. Remove the E, you're left with samu. Oh, by the way, they'll do that too. They'll just say samu without the e. This is a slang. Japanese do it if your joke is unfunny. Just warning you because people will talk about it in YouTube comments. But this in our that's not what we're doing. We're removing the e so we can add kunai. Samu kunai. Samu kunai means not cold. You can never say samui kunai, and you can never say for example the word for today is kyo. Okay, kyo. You can never say kyo wa samui kunai. You can never say kyo wa samui janai desu. You can never do that. It is kyo wa samukunai desu. Today is not cold. Oishii. Now, oishii means delicious or tasty, and it has an e at the end, but it also ends with an e sound, right? If you take out the e, so it becomes oishii. Oishii. Oishikunai means it doesn't taste good or not delicious. Oishikunai. Okay, let's do some sentences. Neko ga kawaii desu. What does that mean? Neko ga kawaii desu. The cat is cute, or cats are cute. Inu ga kowai desu. Inu ga kowai desu. You see the main difference? Like the difference between something being scary and cute. To the untrained ear, they sound the same, but they're not the same. Okay? Inu ga kowai desu means the dog is scary. It also means, by the way, I'm scared of dogs. It does. It means both of those things. Okay? Neko ga kawaii kunai desu. We've taken one of the e's. Remember, there are two e's. I've seen people make this mistake where they say kawakunai to mean not cute, but there's two e's. You don't remove all the e's, you just remove the last e. So neko ga kawaii kunai desu. Cats aren't cute, or the cat isn't cute. Okay? What about dogs? Dogs aren't scary. I mean, most dogs aren't that scary, are they? Inu ga kawakunai desu. This might be something where, let's say you have a little sister or a baby sister. Same thing. You have a little sister or you have a daughter, and they're scared of dogs, right? But you know this dog isn't scary. So maybe they say, inu ga kawaii, inu ga kawaii. And you're like, kawakunai desu. Inu ga kawakunai desu. Dogs aren't scary. Sushi ga oishikunai desu. Look at that sentence. Congrats. I mean, legit congrats. If you've got this far, we're this close to having every sentence be completely in hiragana. This is a very long sentence. Sushi ga oishikunai desu. And you know all these hiragana. Very easily we learn these. So it means sushi's not delicious. Who thinks that? Cola ga sumetaku nai desu. The Coke isn't cold. The cola isn't cold. Remember, samui and sumetai in English both mean cold. You wouldn't translate it to the cola is not cold to the touch. We are putting it in the book as cold to the touch so that you know it's not the same cold as weather cold. Okay? It's very important. Speaking of weather, tenki means weather. Tenki ga atsukunai desu. The weather isn't hot. Tenki ga atsukunai desu. Let's give you a new word. Let's show you the power of learning grammar versus learning a bunch of words and phrases. Okay? This is the power of grammar. I'm going to show you a word that you've never seen before. It's not taught in the book. And you're going to be able to make it negative. The word is suppai. Now, remember what that little tsu does. We've talked about this before, but it's in the books at least. It makes this p a double p, okay? It makes it a double consonant, which means there's a little bit of a pause and a slight stress on that p. So suppai, suppai. So suppai means sour. So a sentence like this. Remon ga suppai desu. The lemon is sour, or lemons are sour. You just learned this word, but you know how to say that they're not sour. Right? No? That one guy in YouTube comments is going to ask, even right now, even though he's watching this video, just to be funny, he's going to ask it. He's going to say, that how do you say not sour? So how would you say apples are not sour? Or the apple is not sour? Ringo ga suppakunai desu. Ringo ga suppakunai desu. How would you say strawberries are sweet? Strawberries are sweet. Do you remember strawberries? I'll give you a hint. If you don't remember strawberries, it's 1, 5. 1, 5. Ichi, go. Ichigo.
That's some good pace.
It's pretty coincidental, but Ichigo. Ichigo ga amai desu. Ichigo ga amai desu. Okay, and what isn't salty? I mean, what's it salty? I didn't say salty yet. It's shoppai, by the way. Shoppai. We didn't cover it because I said it. How would you say sushi is not sweet? Sushi ga amakunai desu. Okay, now that we know how to do that, we learn how to do these negative adjectives, really for an end goal of saying, I don't want something. That's the goal. We learn hoshi, key concept of is hoshi, but now we want to say, don't want. Now, before when we learned ski and kirai, it was even just added janai and it worked. But you can't say hoshi janai. You cannot say it. To make it negative, you cannot do that. So what you have to do is, because it's an adjective, you drop the e and you're left with hoshi. Now, coincidentally, hoshi means star. But that doesn't, if you said accidentally hoshi janai, it means it's not a star. Do you understand? So, in order to make not want, don't want, it's hoshi kunai. Hoshi kunai desu. So, for example, I could ask you, nani ga hoshii desu ka? Nani ga hoshii desu ka? Well, what if you want a car? Kuruma ga hoshii desu. And yeah, by the way, I could say to you, I could make the sentence longer, and I could say, anata wa nani ga hoshii desu ka? But because I'm talking to you, we know. You don't need to say it in Japanese. We understand. We as if I'm Japanese. Oh. Now, and then you can respond with, watashi wa kuruma ga hoshii desu. Watashi wa kuruma ga hoshii desu. Okay? What if you want a new car? We learned the word atarashi. I want you to think about this for a second. This is deceptively, feels like you're going to get it, but it could be hard. When you say I want a new car, you have to think about where atarashi comes in the sentence. It would never be something atarashi desu. You're modifying car. What kind of car you want? A car is kuruma ga hoshii desu. We're going to add one word and not change any other order in the sentence to make I want a new car. You just put, because it's in the adjective, you just pop it right in front. Atarashi kuruma ga hoshii desu. So you see, the thing that you want is a car. What kind of car is it? It's new. It's just like in English, say I want a car, I want a new car. Atarashi comes right in front of kuruma. What if you want money? I don't have this as an example. Okane ga hoshii desu. Let me hear it one once, right? But let's say we want a specific amount. You want $1 million. 1 million. How many zeros is million? 6. What can you buy with 6 zeros from the Japanese side? You can buy man. So now we have 100 man. 100 man. Boom. 100 man ドルが欲しいです。I want $1 million. Or 110,000 units. Dollars. Okay? What is going to this? 古い車が欲しいですか? 古い車が欲しいですか? I mean, who wants an old car? Someone's asking you, do you want an old car? Maybe you want a classic car, but not an old car, right? So if you don't want it, you could just say, いいえ、欲しくないです. Remember, we don't have to say the subject again, just like we don't have to say the topic again. We know. It's like this, like English says, do you want an old car? No, I do not want an old car. Sounds awkward. Same thing in Japanese. Do you want an old car? No, I don't want one. We say I don't want one, right? Japanese, same thing. You don't have to say anything else, but いいえ、欲しくないです. No, I don't want it. 犬が欲しいですか? 犬が欲しいですか? Do you want a dog? This is very weird. I'm going to change this because I see the next sentence doesn't match up. Give me a second. That's right, we live edit here because someone has a typo. Why can't I get in the Japanese mode? There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Don't want to make a mistake here. Confuse you even more. Okay, so someone asked you, 犬が欲しいですか? 犬が欲しいですか? By the way, you don't want to say, let's say you didn't lengthen out 欲しい. 犬が欲しいですか? The Japanese people will hear the difference between 欲しい and 欲しい. And they'll think you're saying, is the dog a star? 犬が欲しいですか? They won't hear it right. Their brain is trained to hear that small difference. So make sure you lengthen it out. 犬が欲しいですか? 犬が欲しいですか? You want a dog? 欲しくないです. 猫が欲しいです. Now we have two sentences in a row. We say, no, I don't want one. Don't want one. 猫が欲しいです. I want a cat. I mean, cats are just easier to take care of. I mean, I love myself a big dog, but... All right, here we go. Comments quiz. I don't know what this means. Ah, here we go. Okay, I know what it means. All right, because we all like doing comments, I'd like to steer the comments away from things that just make me go ballistic. I'm going to ask you a question, and you can comment on this question in the comments. あなたの赤ちゃんが怖いですか? Oh, I'm sorry. It wasn't a question. あなたの赤ちゃんが怖いです. Tell me what that means. あなたの赤ちゃんが怖いです. I'll see you all in the next lesson. Hey everyone, we're going to be working on lesson 7. We're moving right through the book. There's only 5 more lessons left, and then we will be... I think there's actually 6 more lessons left. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But we're kind of in the halfway point of the book, and we've learned how to say which one, and what, and who, and we've learned possession, and likes, and not liking, and wanting, and we haven't learned, officially, even any verbs. But there's still a lot more to learn before we get to actual verbs, which comes up near the end of the book. But we have learned ski, kirai, and hoshi, which in English are verbs, just in Japanese they're not. So isn't that amazing? We haven't learned even one verb yet. So we're going to talk today about yet not another verb. We're going to talk about locations and the doko word group. And really this is the introduction to location, because in book 2, we go a lot further with locations. Okay? This is the doko word group, and I suppose I could have written that in hiragana, because you guys know it. We added a lot of hiragana before this lesson. We learned, this is the only time we learned 15 like right in a row. We learned ha, hi, pu, he, ho, papi, pu, bebo, and papi, pu, he, po. Woo! That's big. Does anyone remember what the hash marks are called? Who remembers? They're called dakuten. Dakuten. And the circle one, it's called handakuten. That's some minor trivia. Japanese would just call it maru a lot of times. All right. New words in this lesson are koko, here, soko, there, asoko, over there, and doko, where. And they are koso,
I'm not Tetrising, I'm
this is our
hopefully not
third
making it
set that
because
we're
of
learning.
level brightness.
We learned kore, sore, are, dore, kochi, sochi, achi, dochi. And now we're learning koko, soko, asoko, and doko. And we're going to learn 2 more location words that are important. Naka, inside, like inside the house, and soto, outside. Now let's look at the relationship of koko, soko, asoko. It's not hard. It's just kind of nice to remember what koso ado does. But if I told you here, there, over there, it makes complete sense. Okay. But here's what's happening. Koko is here where I can touch it. It's like right in this general area. Yeah, just like English. Soko is I'm pointing to a sort of close location, but not very far away. That is, oh, it's there. It's right there, right there. But if it's very far away, then we're gonna say asoko. Okay, it's over there. It's much further away. Okay. But in English, we typically just say there, there. Oh no, there. You know, asoko in English really doesn't have a distinction, but in Japanese, it's a different word. So let's go ahead and see what we can do to use these words. We have our cat. Cat is missing. This has happened multiple times in my house. I have 3 cats. I have a cat named Melody, who hates me. He used to hate me. She's better now. We have the most friendly cat on the planet, Junior, and the most beautiful, holy moly beautiful cat, Yuki. Yuki means snow. All right. Now that you know that, what happens? What happens when you come home and Melody is missing? What's my daughter gonna say? What's my wife gonna say? She's going to say, "Neko wa doko desu ka? Neko wa doko desu ka? Where is the cat? Neko wa doko desu ka?" And then someone sees her and just goes, "Oh, soko desu, soko desu." It's right there. Soko desu. What if it's an outside cat? And it went outside and you just went, oh, it's outside. Soto desu. Really small difference. Soko, soto. Oh, it's way over there. It's over there. Asoko desu. What if you're out in the backyard and you're doing a barbecue and the cat was out there, but you don't know where it went, and someone says, "Neko wa doko desu ka?" And the cat's inside. Naka desu. Okay? All right. Here we have our friendly businessman who we have named Tanaka-san for these videos. He looks like what's behind his back, I wonder? Like, he's kind of shady the way he's holding his hand. I feel like as the lessons progress, we might find out that Tanaka-san has a gun behind his back and he's going to shoot us, or a knife. He might be mafia. We don't even know. where is Tanaka-san? Where is he? Tanaka-san wa doko desu ka? Now, doko is in red, right? That's the question. The question we're answering is doko. So he's over there. Very easily. Very easy to figure out, right? Asoko desu. He's in the house. Now, we know how to say inside is naka. We don't know how to say inside the house yet. We're going to get to that later on. I don't want to put too many new things in your head right now. So just say, in the house, it's a little bit awkward, but this is completely okay in Japanese. Ie desu. Now, that same phrase, ie desu, can mean it's a house, but in the context of Tanaka-san wa doko desu ka? Ie desu, it now means in the house or at the house. Do you understand? Because contextually, it all makes sense. You could also say he's at work, even though we don't know how to say at. In Japanese, we will learn that there's a particle that says where something is at, but we don't know it yet. But this Japanese is 100% correct. If you say, Tanaka-san wa doko desu ka? You can answer, shigoto desu. Okasa-san wa doko desu ka? Where's mom? Shigoto desu. At work. Okay? What if, where's your little brother? Ototo wa doko desu ka? Gakkou desu. He's at school. So weird hair is floating by. He's at school. Tanaka's where's the hair? In front of my eye. So, we learned how to use doko in a sentence where we're saying, here's the topic, and we're going to ask the question about where is that topic. But, what if the question word itself is the topic? And we want to know, I'm not even going to show you the sentence yet, but let's say we want to know, hey, where's a good place to eat? Where tastes good is really what we want to say. There is a way to say it where doko desu ka is used, but we're going to use doko in front. Doko ga oishii desu ka? Where is delicious? Now that is a weird sentence. We're really asking, where's a place that tastes good? But because doko is a question word, we are forced by the rules of wa and ga to put a ga there. Doko ga oishii desu ka? And we probably had a topic already about, hey, let's go eat. We've already said, tabetai desu. I want to eat. Oops, I should have given you that. I don't want to get things ahead of time. I really like you guys to learn it in order, because if I give you too much stuff up front, you're gonna mix things, and I don't want that yet. Okay? So try to learn in order. Doko ga oishii desu ka? Maybe the topic was, let's go eat together, and someone says, well, where's delicious? Where tastes good? Where is good? Doko ga oishii desu ka? And if McDonald's is good, you're just gonna say, McDonald's ga oishii desu. McDonald's ga oishii desu. I know it's hard to say. What if we want to go, we plan on hanging out with friends, and we want to know where would be fun? Doko ga tanoshii desu ka? Tanoshii. I don't know if we taught this in the lessons yet, but that's a good word to know. It means it's enjoyable. So tanoshii. Doko ga tanoshii desu ka? And I'm gonna tell you, if you're in Vegas, I did this thing the other day that I never did before. I never even heard about it. It's called lockdown. Lockdown ga tanoshii desu. And what it is they lock you in a room for an hour, and you have a mystery to solve. And the mystery that we did was our cousin had been kidnapped, and they wanted $1 million ransom, but the police weren't letting us wire that money to them. But the detective's like, look, man, you've got an hour. He's gonna die. They're gonna kill him, but your cousin has a trust fund, and all you have to do is wire the money from his trust fund. So then you go in the room and you have to find all these clues to eventually get to the computer password to send the money. We did it in 24 minutes, a minute and a half away from the record. Fortunately, we didn't get close enough, but we did it, and I was really excited until I found out that 77% of the people that do that challenge, they get it. There's another challenge I'm gonna do next though. It's Mob Boss, and there's only like a 46% chance of getting that one. And then there's another one called Crazy Professor. There's like a 26% chance. So I'll let you know what happens with that. So if you're asking me, doko ga tanoshii desu ka? I'm gonna say lockdown ga tanoshii desu. Lockdown ga tanoshii desu. All right, I'll see you all in lesson 7, where we pump it up a notch. See you then. Bye. Lesson 7 begins now. Today, on Japanese from Zero, we will be discussing the connection but. I screwed up. I meant to say the but sentence connector. All right. So remember, you do need to know ha, hi, hu, eho, and wait a minute. Lesson 7. There we go. Older version of the book, but totally. Oh, you know what is wrong? You need to know mami min mo. Oh, look at that. Yes. Wait. No, that's legit. That was right. Because we're doing a part 2 from the same lesson. I think that's what happened, and I got confused. So in lesson 7, we need to know ha, hi, hu, eho, babi, bubepo, and papi, pupepo, but more importantly, we need to know this new word, demo. We also need to know I and yoi. I, yoi. So I and yoi both mean the same thing. However, when you're saying good, you typically only say I. We're going to use yoi in just a second though. And oki, big. And chisai. Look at that. So much here going on the screen. It's nice. So let's do some practice first about how to make these negative, which is what we were doing in the last video. So oki, drop the I, you have oki. Okikunai. Okikunai desu. It's not big. I don't have anything here to show you to demonstrate not big. But let's just say I'm Donald Trump and my hand is not big. So I could say te ga okikunai desu. Te ga okikunai desu. I mean, that is the joke. That is the joke that everyone says about Donald Trump. So chisai. Chisai means small. Okay. Chisa. Drop the I. Chisa. Chisakunai. Not small. Chisakunai. Okay. Now with good, I, there is I and yoi, good. Right? Well, you don't say, for the negative you use the yoi.
It's just you. It would be a bit too hard to be learning
now, you can say ikunai, you will hear ikunai, but it's way more natural and common to say
listening to videos that I've listened to like
so it's
a couple
normally,
years
you just
ago.
drop the I and add kunai,
Just
any
in case I missed anything.
This is kind of an exception. I becomes yokunai. Okay? Now, let me ask you a question. How do I say yasai, which means vegetable?
Yes,
how do I say not a vegetable?
These videos are how many years old again? 9 years ago.
And say
2016.
No.
So there's some context.
This dropping of the E thing only works for adjectives right now. Okay? You have to say yasai janai. Just trying to keep you on your toes. Yasai janai. Because yasai is not an adjective. It's not an E adjective. So it would never ever make a conjugation, right? So it's yasai janai. Now, excuse me. Before we get to using demo, We already did.
The only
We did
thing
talk about
is, just said that it doesn't talk over me. I was just like listening to these, and I was doing runs, and then I got some really good runs, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll just stream it, whatever. You guys can listen to this in the background too. Vibing sometimes when medicine keeps me awake. I see. Well, I hope you enjoy the chill vibes that we have here.
And God usage in a prior lesson, but we are going to do it again. Because we're going to add a little bit to it, okay? And it's always good to review this again. I'm going to kind of put numbers on these rules, okay? So number 1, you can never use wa directly after a question word, unless you're that guy in YouTube making a comment and not even watching the video. So for example, nani ga suki desu ka? Because nani, there's a question word, you cannot have wa there. Even if you're showing emphasis, even if you're using any of the other rules that wa can be used by, you can never, ever say nani wa. Unless there is a famous StarCraft player named Nani wa. Just want to throw it out there. But that is not what I'm doing. So, nani ga suki desu ka? Nani ga suki desu ka? Doko ga oishii desu ka? Where tastes good? Nani iro ga ii desu ka? What color is good? Nani iro ga ii desu ka? Nezumi wa nan desu ka? Now, why did I throw that sentence there? The first 3 sentences, we have nani ga, doko ga, and nani iro ga. And a lot of people confuse this rule and think, oh, if there's a question word in the sentence, you can't use wa. It's not what I said. That's not the rule.
What, go with like power-ups?
You can never use wa directly after a question word. In the sentence, nezumi wa nan desu ka, which means what is a nezumi, what is a rat. But we're assuming you just heard the word nezumi, you don't know what it means, and you're asking nezumi wa nan desu ka. We have a question word nan. But why are we using wa? Because that's the topic. We're saying, what is this thing called nezumi? And it's not a question word.
Oh, with
Nihon
the
wa doko desu ka?
I see.
Looking at a map. Where's Japan? Nihon wa doko desu ka? Budou wa nani iro desu ka? Budou wa nani iro desu ka? What color are grapes? 2 answers for that, right? Budou wa midori desu. Or budou wa murasaki desu. Second rule, wa is used for comparison and emphasis. Now this rule, we haven't needed until now. We really haven't, okay? We've said that we can use ga for emphasis. For example, are you Tanaka-san? Iie, kare ga Tanaka desu, right? You could do it then, but also wa does the same thing. This is where it gets complicated, because wa is also used for emphasis. So, let's look at a sentence. Hopefully it'll help. Inu ga suki desu. That's your basic sentence. I like dogs. Demo is a comparator word. It's also a connector. It connects 2 sentences. It's the beginning of one sentence, connecting that first sentence to it. But neko wa kirai desu. Now I'm using wa to emphasize, okay? Inu ga suki desu.
A little bit, but he likes to speak a lot of English. Practice with English, so it ends up being more like English heavy. But
this, it isn't good. So that's where normally we're using ga, right?
But
we're using ga
with
in the first sentence, and then
other
that kind of switches the next sentence to wa, right? We're basically using wa when emphasizing what normally would be ga in that sense, right?
Well, yeah,
now we can have a sense where we can have 2 sentences connected that have
like
wa as
when
well.
to the arcade,
totally
right?
fine.
It's mostly just like Japanese speakers.
It doesn't mean that you switch to the ga to make the emphasis. You wouldn't say,
like there.
Onisan ga.
You have to
You would.
practice.
Onisan wa 16歳です. The number 1 way that you use emphasis is wa. But as I've shown you in the prior video, you can use ga to emphasize. That's where it gets tricky. It's not easy to know when to use wa and ga. And honestly, the 5th rule will explain it all. Wa and ga can both be in the same sentence. This is not a real rule, but I put it here because a lot of people sometimes get confused. They don't think that you can have them in the same sentence, but you can. 私はここが好きです. I like it here. 私はここが好きです。私の友達はポケモンが嫌いです.
It's like,
What?
practice from here, but
How can you hate Evie? How can you hate? How can she slap? Every time I say, how can something, I always want to say, how can she slap? Go look that up on YouTube right now. How can she slap? Trust me, you'll like it. How can she slap? How can you not like Pokemon? Come on, they're cute, they're adorable. 私はポケモンが好きです。でも、私の友達はポケモンが嫌いです. Alright? Number 4, wa should be used with new topics and conversations. We talked about that. We don't have to go into detail about that. In another video, we talked about it that typically, because you're talking about a new topic, you're going to, not typically, almost all the time, you're going to start a conversation with wa. Then the next thing can be ga. It's a follow-up thing. I feel like that might have confused you a little bit. We'll go watch the video and see what here's the most important one. Wa and ga are often dropped in casual conversations. They really are. Japanese drop them from time to time. Okay? They might say, what do you see yet? Just trust me. They will drop them. So, not only will they drop them, but if you ask a Japanese person to explain the difference between wa and ga, they don't know. They can't explain it. The max they will typically do is the one that everyone says, wa marks the topic and ga marks the subject. But it's not often clear what the subject is, and sometimes when ga is used as emphasis, you're like, well, does that make it the subject now? And when wa is used to emphasize, is that now the subject? No. I mean the topic, sir. Does that make it a topic? No. Sometimes you're just emphasizing something. So, my advice would be, don't worry too much about this. If you screw up wa and ga, you're going to be okay. If you say, watashi ga neko wa suki desu, they're still going to get it. They're still going to understand what you're saying. It'll sound weird, but they'll understand it. Alright, thank you for watching. I have nothing on this back screen. That means I'm out of videos today. This is the last one for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all on the next lesson. Remember, please, if you get confused, don't feel bad about asking questions on YouTube or even on the website. I'll try to answer as many of them as I can. And also, please review. Please go back and review. Because I do feel like I'm explaining it. Sometimes. Alright, I'll see you next time. Ja ne. Hello, welcome to lesson 8. And since I'm wearing my green shirt today, my Midori no Shatsu, I felt like my hat would go well with it too. Apparently this is a Minecraft hat. I didn't know it when I bought it. Bought it in Korea because the sun was really bright. So today we're going to be wearing a hat. So today, we're moving right along. I'm very, very excited. Oh, and on top of my green Today is Green Day. On top of all of the excitement with my hat, we are moving really fast through the lessons. We're going to be talking about kind of a big topic today. It is months, days of the month. I thought it was something else. It's months and days of the month, which aren't that difficult, but they require you to know some counting and to learn some new counting that we don't know yet. You will need to know ma, mi, mu, me, mo. A, ka, sa, ta, na, ha, ma. All we have left is ya and la, and then one lesson on compounds, and you'll know all of the hiragana. You know, we're only on, I want you to think about this, we're only on lesson 8. You have made extensive progress with Japanese, and we still are just on lesson 8. I mean, it's so fun because we're not even to the point where we know so much that I can't adequately review everything when making examples. I'm just trying to, we should do that.
Like, he helped, like, the conversation flow, and then every now and then I try and chip in with a bit, since his proficiency is better than mine. So it was really nice having, like, a buddy who's, like, still also learning. So every now and then he'd still get stuck as well, or whatnot, but he'd also use, like, very basic phrases. So I'm like, oh, I can pick up on that from Hiku, or, you know, like, oh, this is a good way to, like, say this thing, or whatever else. So, yeah, that was really nice. Sound very nice. We love basic phrases, right? Also, a lot of the Japanese players were very patient with us if we had to, like, take time to answer a question or construct a sentence or whatnot, so that helps a lot too. That was one of the biggest things for me when it comes to, like, being in Japan. Just the fact that there are so many people who are willing to engage with us just because of engage with us because we share, like, Puyo as a hobby, right? So even outside of, like, Puyo contexts, we're hanging out because we enjoy the same thing, so we have a reason to, like, get to know each other better. Ooh, yum. That should be good. Dude, that looks like it's gonna be quite exciting. Need to review once I have mental energy, or the med's giving me brain fog, so I can't focus. Oh no, friend! Yeah, it must be difficult, but I hope in the long run that it's, you know, what you need and helps you get back on your feet with everything. Then we can do all the cool stuff together, you know? That too with Korean, I think people really like it when you invest yourself in the culture. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. You know, in the same way that any time that you feel weird about, like, something when you're the newbie, if you just think about it in the other direction, it becomes so obvious that it's, like, fine, right? Like, oh, someone is trying to speak English with me, and they're not very good at it. It's like, no, I would not think anything of it. You'd just be like, oh, I appreciate the effort you're putting in. It becomes so obvious when you flip it from the perspective of the person who's, like, native, right? It's the same way, so no need to be embarrassed at all or anything. Yeah. It's good.
Oh yeah, oh gosh, what about that? Can't do it all, because we know so much, and we're starting to be able to build longer and more complicated concepts. Let's look at some new words that we need to know. You'll notice that there's a pattern, that in every new lesson we are learning new question words, and then we're learning how to answer those question words. And that is a really important thing to do when you're learning your foundation of Japanese. First new word today is itsu. Itsu. Itsu just means when. And nangatsu. Nangatsu, man, I can't wait until we know the N, the un. Some of you already know it. It's really easy. And maybe in a future version of the book, I'll just teach it as the first character because it comes up so much, it looks so awkward all by itself. But it is, nangatsu means what month. And nannichi. Nannichi, not nanichi. That is very important. So nannichi means what day of the month. We're going to learn some sets of words here. It's very important. The set is today, tomorrow, and yesterday. It's very important. Kyo, kyo. Ashita, ashita, not ashita. Never ashita or ashita. It's ashita, ashita. And tomorrow is kino. Kino. Remember, it is lengthened because we have that u at the end that effectively basically doubles the sound of the o before it, right? So it's ki-no-u. Ki-no-u is not right, though. It doesn't sound right. It's kino. Kino. It's really just a lengthener. Okay, so, by the way, you really should have already done the lesson before we get to this video. Even though I know it's probably a link at the top of the video. Or maybe watch it once, go through the lesson, and then watch it again. So now that we have these day words, let's get to the main part of this lesson, and that is days of the month. These are a little bit tricky because it's based on a counting system that we don't know. We know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But this is based off of another system that we have yet to learn. This is your first introduction to the other way of counting in Japanese, but it's unique to days of the month, unfortunately, this particular one. So first day of the month is 1日. 1日. 2日. 2日. 2日means the second day of the month. 3日. 3日. Now it's important that little 2 is treated properly. You have to say 3日, not 3日. And it's also important to know that this is a big 2. So it's not 2日, it's 2日, 2日. The fourth is 4日, 4日. Now this one is really important to make sure that you know that little 2 is there, because when we get to the 8th, you're going to see they look similar. Okay? 4日 is the fourth. It is never a she word or anything like that. These are set words that are never different. Okay? 1日, 2日, 3日, 4日, 5日, 5日. Now 5日means the 5th. But if you look it up in the dictionary, just in hiragana, you look up 5日, it also means someday. So there's a kind of a funny thing that'll happen. You say, hey, what day of the month are we going to do this thing? Or when are we going to do this thing? And someone might say, itsuka. And that could mean the 5th or sometime. One of these days. Okay? Muika, the 6th. Muika, nanoka. Yoka. Now this is why these are yellowed, because yokka is the 4th. Yoka is the 8th. Yokka, kokonoka. Oh god, I lengthened it. Don't do that. Kokonoka. And the 10th. Toka. Now this is kind of interesting. We haven't really seen something like an O directly after the to like that, but it almost does the exact same thing as if this was an U, just lengthens it. Toka. Okay? Now, lucky for us, it's only the first 10, for the most part, that are awkward. After the first 10, it's just number plus nichi. For example, I don't even have them all listed. The 11th is 11 nichi. The 12th is 12 nichi. The 19th is 19 nichi. Okay? So, they're not special in any way. They just say the number plus nichi after. There are, however, 3 special ones. There's the 14th, which is 14. The 20th, if you remember, when you say 20 years old, what is that? Who remembers what 20 years old is? Is it 20 sai? Of course not, or I wouldn't be mentioning it. It's 20. Well, this is 20. Okay, 20 is special. It's the 20th. Don't ask me why. I actually don't know why that one is special. And the 24th. So the 14th and the 24th are both special, but they follow the same pattern. 24 and 14. Okay? But the 8th, remember that the 8th was 8. The 28th and the 18th, they're just 18 nichi for the 18th and 28 nichi for the 28th. Now, if you go back to this list, and you remember that we can use nichi after a number, and you say 1 nichi, it doesn't mean the first. That means 1 day. And 2 nichi means 2 days. So you have to be careful and say 2 and 1日. So 1日, 2日, 3日, 4日, 5日, 6日, 7日, 8日, 9日, and 10日. And if you make a mistake and you say 20 nichi, it's wrong. It will mean 20 days. But they probably will understand you if you had a month before that. If you're saying like a full date. So let's go ahead and let's put some sentences to it. Before I click to the next screen, how would you say, what day of the month is today? Using the grammar that we already know and the new word, nannichi. Nannichi. What day of the month is it? And I'll take a little break. Kind of a funny story. This is called shipchircha. Shipchircha, that's Korean, by the way, for 17 tea. But in Japan, they have a tea called jurokcha. And basically, Korean just one-upped them and added a different type of tea to make 17 types of tea instead of a 16 tea. Kind of funny. Funny story. All right. Well, how do you say, speaking of today, what day of the month is it? That's not how you would say it in English, but you would say, what day of the month is today? 今日は何日ですか? 今日は何日ですか? Now, if you just said to somebody, 何日ですか? And there was no topic at all, they would know you mean, hey, what day of the week is it? Today. Not what day of the week, sorry, what day of the month is it? What's the date? They would know 何日ですか means today,
That's
right?
cool, just don't ask me to explain the
let's
rules
say we're
around the
talking about
words.
someone's birthday party. Yeah, I'm going to have a birthday party for Sheila. Sheila's turning
exactly.
34 finally, and then someone just randomly says, 何日ですか? Now it means, what day of the week
the other language,
what day of the
right?
month
You
is it
can't
for
just
Sheila's
ask them,
birthday?
like,
Because we've
something
already said
so
context.
fundamental,
It's the
because
exact same
otherwise
thing in English, but sometimes you forget these things in Japanese
that's how you
because it's
stun
whole new language.
someone.
So for example, we were saying, oh yeah, Sheila's birthday, we're going to be doing something special next week, and then someone says, what day of the week is it? Or what day of the month is it? Or what day of the month is it? What's the date? You would know that it meant for that thing, so you could just say, 何日ですか? All right, what if I said, okay, I'm sorry, this makes no sense. This makes no sense. I don't know why it's here. Let's ignore that it exists because 今日はいつですか? That means when is today? That makes no sense. Let's just imagine that the kyowa wasn't there. It's not there. And we were talking about Sheila's birthday party. I don't know anything Sheila, but if you're in the audience watching, you're excited. I know your name now. So Sheila's birthday, blah blah blah, coming up, blah blah blah. And someone says, what? Wait, いつですか? When is it? いつですか? Okay. So 何日ですか? Remember the topic is already there. Here we go. This is better. Let's talk about party. Party can be when, right? So パーティーは何日ですか? パーティーは何日ですか? What day of the month is the party? What if it was the 21st day of the month? I don't have the answer. The answer isn't on the screen. But you can figure it out, right? 21日です. 21日です. What if it was one day prior to that, the 20th? You guys are smart. 20日. It can never be 20日です. But I could also say, パーティーはいつですか? When is the party? And the exact same answer. I could literally say either one of these questions and still get 21日です. Because with いつ, any time can come up. It could be the actual time of the day, which we don't know yet. We're going to learn that coming up. By the way, comments are now all approved on YouTube because people like to give the answers ahead of time. When I purposely don't teach you how to say, for example, 3 o'clock, it's because I need you to absorb the current material. One of the things I would tell you to try to not do is don't move too fast. Get this material down. It's kind of I'm going to kind of be a hypocrite here for a second. When you get really lost in something, sometimes you need to move forward. But sometimes you need to make sure you're not going so fast that you're learning similar concepts all at the same time. I'll give you a quick small story. We already know these phrases. We know kore, sore, are, dore, and we know koko, soko, asoko, doko. And they're both koso ado words. So in a very early version of the lessons, which I taught in live class, I used to teach in a live class, and I would make these lessons, and I would revise them based on the students' understanding of that lesson. So often, I would have at the bottom of the lesson, it would say the date, and I would have to double check, hey, what date do you have, what version do you have? Because I was constantly rewriting lessons. I didn't write these lessons because of some sixth sense that I have about Japanese. These lessons got rewritten over and over and over again. Okay, but when I first did the lesson about koso ado words, which we did, I taught kore, sore, are, and koko, soko, asoko together, and no one could do it. It was horrible. It was so frustrating. We're talking maybe 15 years ago now, or more, maybe 17 years ago. I remember I had this big binder of lessons, And the students didn't understand that lesson that day. They could not get the concepts together between Korea and Koko because they were so similar. They were so similar that they were confused. So when everyone left the room, I remember I was so frustrated. I picked up that large binder. My wife was like sitting next to me. I picked up this large binder about that thick and I threw it. I was like, "Nande wa katte nainda yo? Konna ni kantan koto nande minna ga wakaranai nda yo?" That's what I said. How come these guys will understand such a simple thing? Why don't they understand? But see, the thing is, it's not simple. It is not. It is simple when you know it, when you first learn it. Oh my god, it's hard to put these concepts all together and keep it all together until it's like in your very, very long-term memory. But it takes time to get there. And what's happening is on YouTube, people are going, excuse me, I got so excited about to breathe. These people on YouTube are saying, spoiler alert, when you do this, it's this, and then you do this. And what they're doing is, they're hurting the beginner. They're probably hurting you. Because two things can happen. One, you go, oh my god, I don't know enough, and your heart hurts. Or one, you try to learn what they taught you, but they gave you maybe not complete information. They just spouted off what they knew, and then all of a sudden, now you're hurt. You don't know what to do, and you're exhausted. And I'm exhausted looking at those things. So what I'm doing from this point forward, FYI, I'm going to approve any comments that come in so I can stop what I'm going to call the spoiler guys, or also there are trolls, which I have to stop. So I apologize for that, but only on this series because we're going in a certain order and we're curating a certain style, we're going to do that. All right, you can fast forward through that the second time you watch this video. Now, we could say with itsu desu ka, when is it, right? Again, that could be a day, that could be a day of the week, which we're going to learn in the next lesson, that could be the date of the month, that could be a time, that could be a floating time like next week, or next Thursday, or next year in June. It could be anything because we're saying itsu, but the sentence structure doesn't change. That's what's beautiful about Japanese, okay? So, pati wa itsu desu ka? What if it is the 15th? It is 15 nichi. 15 nichi. All right. That wasn't on the screen, but there it is. I apologize. I thought it was. It's pati wa maru-maru, right? Pati wa anytime. Yes. Except when we ask pati wa nannichi desu ka, we must come back with a date of the month, not a time or a weekday. Okay? That's when we're asking a specific question. Pati wa nannichi desu ka? 15 nichi desu. Pati wa itsu desu ka? 15 nichi desu. Here's a common question. Tanjoubi wa itsu desu ka? Tanjoubi means birthday. When is your birthday? Tanjoubi wa itsu desu ka? Now, we have not learned months yet. We haven't learned it yet. So you could just say something like ashita desu. It's tomorrow. Or kyo desu. It's today. Okay, we're gonna learn months in the very next frame, and then we'll do a full birthday. So what if somebody just asked you, Tanjoubi wa nangatsu desu ka? Now they're asking for a specific month, and we'll do that in a second. Pati wa something something desu. Now let's get to those months. Months are luckily easy. It's just number plus gatsu. 1月, 2月, 3月, 4月. Never 4月 ever. I was talking with my wife, who's Japanese, and I was thinking about the two versions of 4. And I thought, I wonder if I should just come up with a list of all the times where they're separated, right? Yon or shi. And I really can only come up with 2 times that shi is used. And this is one of them. Shigatsu is very, I just came up with another one in my brain. Just came up with another one. Shigatsu means April. But you can use it also to say, for example, it's 4 or 5 minutes. We don't know minutes yet, I'll just give it to you. Shi gokun. They say 4 or 5 minutes. 4 or 5 minutes. Don't remember that. Just showing you an example. And I just thought of one more. When you say square, the word is shikaku. It means 4 corners. Shikaku. Kind of a random one I just came up with right now. But typically we're going to use yon. Just never hear it. Shigatsu. 5月, 6月, 7月, never 7月, always 7月, 8月, 9月.
Let's try to wind down for the night. Catch you later, Yoshi. Thank you for popping by, Riley. Always good to see you. I'll catch you soon. Have a good night. Hey, Groover. Could not hear over the video. Oopsies. I was just saying, yeah, like that's how you softlock someone. Tell them to explain like the most basic like building block word, like the, and it's like that's impossible. It just happens. This is something that comes with experience. GM rounds, my best is Tristan, but yeah, I'm just got GM rounds, king of rounds. Hey Yoshi, thank you for the raid. When everyone's asking what happened to all the Yoshis before you, Yoshi 100. I can at least point at you and be like, there's a Yoshi 86, guys. Yeah, close, but you know, still pretty good. I'll take it. It's just frustrating because it's like, oh, it's right there. If I just didn't like spend so much time doing singles instead of touching, it's just the 86 Yoshi. Yeah, something like that. Is it really true? I don't know. People will have to find out for themselves, I think. Alright, I'm gonna do one more run and then I have to have dinner and then I'll come back and do a few more runs. And then we've got our Puyo match tonight in... how long is it? It's a little less than 3 hours from now, so we have a bit more time to do like runs of this before we hop into Puyo. I'll do one more before I go take a break for dinner. Okay.
Never 9月 and 10月, and you can guess what November and December are. 11月 is November and 12月 is December. And this is really easy if you always knew what number of the month was. If you don't know what number of the month is normally, this is going to help you out tremendously. How would you answer this question? Christmas wa nangatsu desu ka? Christmas wa nangatsu desu ka? If you don't celebrate Christmas, I apologize. It is, in fact, in December. So the answer to what month is Christmas is 12月 desu. And I don't know why I have it twice. It says 12月 desu. Can I just quickly fix that? That is awkward. I want someone to think they say it twice. Okay. So, Junigatsu desu. Now, I went and put this out just to show you that typically Japanese people, they're not going to write in hiragana. They're not going to write Juni and then Gatsu. And also, even when you learn kanji, they're not going to write kanji number, Gatsu. Most of the time, they're going to write the numbers that we're familiar with. Japanese use I forgot these are called Arabic numbers. They're actually called Arabic numbers. They're not American numbers or English numbers because I believe math was invented initially by Arabian people of that era, of that area. I actually don't remember. You can post it in the comments and I will approve it. I'll take time to approve it because actually, if we talk, I'm not going to make fun of people on YouTube. You guys are awesome. I love you all. I really do. All right, so Junigatsu. Kodomo no hi wa itsu desu ka? So that's one of the words in this lesson. Kodomo no hi means Children's Day. When is Children's Day? Now, right now, we could say the complete day, but let's just start with month. Gogatsu desu. It's in May, because maybe you didn't remember the whole day. But the whole day is Gogatsu itsuka desu. It is May 5th. Matter of fact, there's a whole bunch of really cool holidays all in a row in Japan, and they call that Golden Week, and it starts in the beginning of May. It's the huge holiday season in Japan. You might not want to book a trip to Japan on Golden Week, because a lot of places will be sporadically closed, but your friends will have time to hang out with you, maybe. All right, let's just go through some quick dates, and then we will be over with this. If you want to say a complete date, you say month, and then day of the month, just like English. So, for example, New Year's Day, January 1st. It's like a barley tea. So it is 1月1日. 1月1日, not 1月1日. But if you were going to accidentally say 1日, saying 1月in front of it would make them understand better, because it's wrong. It's like saying, oh, January 1 day. January 1 day. What is it? Oh, it's a January 1 day. Like if Japanese person did that to you, you understand you meant it first. January 28th is the Chinese New Year this year. I think it changes every year. And this year, or next year, sorry, for 2017, it will be January 20th. What is that Japanese? 1月28日. 1月28日. I feel like it's making me hot or something here. February 14th. We all know this. This is Valentine's Day. If you said 2月14日, so close. But wrong. 2月14日. 4日. All right, July 20th. This is the day in 1969, I think it was 69, that we landed on the moon. That the human race first set foot on the moon was July 20th, before I was born. And that is it Shigatsu? No, that's April. Is it Nanagatsu? No, it is 7月20日, not 20日. Must be 20日. Thank you for watching, and I apologize for my rant about YouTube. You know I do love you guys. I'll see you all in the next lesson, which we are going to talk about a little bit of a continuation on the date thing. Actually, we're going to talk about past tense now that I remember it. We're talking about past tense, which we have not yet done. That is a continuation of lesson 8. See you then. Johnny. Welcome to Japanese from Zero. This is lesson 8 of course 1, and we are going to be talking about past tense. Up until now, we have used des as a future tense only or a present tense. And actually, we haven't really used any tenses at all because we're not talking about verbs or anything like that or actions. But for example, if you said it is hot, atsui desu, we're saying it's hot right now. Or if you're saying it's a cat, neko desu, we're saying it's a cat right now. Okay, so the past tense form of des is deshita, not deshita. Let's make sure it's just like ashita. It blends very nicely into deshita. All right. And for this lesson, we do need to know ma, mi, mu, me, mo. We are so close to knowing all the hiragana. You don't even know. I'm very excited about this. First thing we need to talk about is the fact that there are 2 types of past tense. We are only going to deal with one type. The reason because it's a little bit complicated and I want to spend more time discussing it. We're going to get to that one actually in course 2, lesson 8. I promise you I'm not trying to make you buy a book or anything like that. It's just too much to teach right now, both versions of past tense. So we're only going to be talking about deshita. And what deshita does is says, just like des is, am, are, this is was and were, deshita. That's the only new word I want to know because we're going to use all of our existing grammar to work through it, through what we know. So let's go back and look at some things that we already know, and then we're going to add past tense to it. So, party wa nannichi desu ka? Party wa nannichi desu ka? That means what day of the month is party? I think we remember that. What does this mean though? Party wa itsu desu ka? Now this is a much more broad way to ask when the party is, right? It literally is when is the party instead of the very concise what day of the month is the party. So the answer for itsu desu ka, if you remember, could be the day of the month. It's totally fine. It could be time, but we don't know time yet. It could be the day of the week, but we don't know day of the week yet. That's coming up. But right now, all we know is nannichi. So if the party is on the 15th, you would say party wa what was it? 15日です. Party wa 15日です. But what if the person asking you when is the party or what day of the month is the party had already missed it, and now it's the 20th? How old is the 20th in Japanese? It's a hard one. Who said 20日? It's not 20日. That means 20 days. It's 20日. 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 All right. So if the party was on the 15th, we would say party wa 15日でした. Very simple. Wherever you were using des, you just replace it with deshita, and now it is past tense. What if someone has asked you, when is your birthday? Tandoubi wa itsu desu ka? Tandoubi wa itsu desu ka? Or they say, instead of when, they say, what month is your birthday? Tandoubi wa nangatsu desu ka? You could answer, let's say your birthday is in October. You could say,
my piece was incredibly good there.
But what if you're upset that they missed your birthday? And let me give you a small story. On Facebook, you know how Facebook will send you the notifications, it's George's birthday today. Well, I started getting...
Hi Bruno, what's up with the sped up audio? Oh, it's just that I can kind of like speedrun review. Because I don't need to like have it dragged out so much because this is very basic, right? So I mean, you know that I know this level at least of Japanese, so it's just like, in case there's anything interesting there, I can catch it. Like, I figured there's a few things here and there that I've forgotten from the basics, so I figured, oh, you know, to like ease back into it, I'll just like listen to this in the background. And it seems to be working anyway, because you need to play fast in this game, so like, also listen to stuff fast, and maybe, I don't know, maybe there's a correlation there. I don't know why this is helping me play well, or is helping me play better, or what it is, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna have dinner and then I'll come back and then I'll hop into the voice chat as well and all of that, so we'll do that. But for now, let me go ahead and put... Actually, let me put up the replay of the run that I did earlier, where I hit PB. No, not achievements. I want my replays. Whoa! 44... Whoa! Wow! Starlight number, that's so true. Heck yeah. Thank you for the continued support, Bruno, much love. Oh, no, I want dinner, please. Dinner time. Let's make the text a little smaller. Yeah, dinner. Actually, if you guys wanna like hop in, then I'll just let you guys like yap. Right? Makes sense? Feel free to come in and say hi to everyone. Yeah, wow! Look at that. More engagement, please. Oh, Restful Yoshi, thank you for popping in. Thanks for the raid. Really appreciate it. Catch you around. Hi, friend.
Hi.
Yes. Let me... Right. I was gonna put on... F1. Yeah, there we go. There's the runs that I've managed so far. But I think this one was off stream. Yeah, it was off stream, so... Hey, Oxytor. Yapping time. Don't worry, I'll be gone soon. Okay, yeah. Have a look at this run. It's very tragic, and I think this was the first story break I got today, and that's why it's kind of slow, whereas these ones I've tried to push the speed a little bit, so... anyway, I'll be back soon. Enjoy.
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, I have forgotten about the nails on the floor. Oh my god. Someone was cutting their nails on the bus at some point.
Yucky.
And they just... Yeah. And I just saw the nails on the floor of the bus and I sat there. It's like, why? People are so disgusting.
I got home and I walked past the living room and my younger siblings there, which is weird because normally they're like in their room playing Genshin or something. And I was like, oh, like, what are you watching? And they're like, oh, what was it called? Oh yeah, Hikaru ga Shinda Natsu. And I was like, hold on, like I know this from somewhere. And then I was like, oh wait, no, this is the one that Bruno watched and he liked it.
It's really good. It's really good.
That's what they said too. So I'm like, okay.
I'm currently waiting for the second season of the anime, but also I'm caught up with the manga. It should be done in like this year. Like there's not much to explore, and I think the author said at some point that he wanted to make it like around this length. So unless something really strange happens and all of a sudden the publishers go like, no, you need to make like a huge arc or something because it's selling really well or whatever. Which hopefully doesn't happen because there's like literally nothing that you could make to extend the story. But
Yeah.
stuff like that has happened before. Like, I don't know. Naruto always comes to mind with the stupid ninja war that covers like 300 chapters in the manga or something stupid like that. It's like no one liked that. Not even Kishimoto himself. Give me short, concise stories that I will be thinking about forever instead of super long stories.
I forget it uses this music.
I thought I was misremembering or exaggerating the number of chapters of the Ninja War in Naruto, but no, it starts around chapter 454, because it would be the 5 Kagesame arc would be like the start, or like the prelude to the war, and that's when everything starts, and then
Right.
the total manga has like a 700 chapter count, so it's basically half the manga is the Ninja War. We're just like random fights of people that you haven't, you either don't know, or if you do know them, they're like just being revived for the sake of being revived, even though some of them already had like their death be an important event in the story. But it's like, no, we're back again in the world of living. Sorry, I guess. Lol. But it's okay because everyone in the manga frowns upon the idea, oh, this resurrection technique is forbidden and it's so bad. It's like, yeah, I sure hope the author didn't use it. It's too early in the morning to be complaining about Naruto. Final Fantasy VII is now available on Steam.
Oh!
Okay. There was something that they did, that they updated the Steam version.
Yeah, is it like the new version is out, maybe?
Yeah, it's a new version.
Oh!
Like the original, but it's a new port. Question mark.
I hope so.
Mostly negative reviews.
Ooh!
What happened?
Yeah. There's no way it can be that bad. Come on, guys.
The FPS limits increased from 15 to 30. Doubling the speed of the fights and actions, but without adapting the animations, so the action syncs with the audio.
What?
It plays like an ATB hard type mod. The FMV stutter. Okay, the Battle FPS thing has been patched on the same day of release, but that's like, why do you need a patch for this? Didn't you open the game at all before release, or?
They got rid of the Square account DRM, no way.
Oh?
Thank fuck.
Okay, that's a really huge one.
You have to you just have to open the game, and then it would open the launcher, and then you have to log in with your Square Enix account, and it's like, well, I don't want to. I bought this game on Steam. Leave me alone. It's like when I was playing City Skylines. It was like, yeah, you have to make a Paradox account. I'm like, no.
Oh god.
No, I don't, because I bought the game on Steam because it is 2026. But whatever.
At the very least, if you already had the 2013 version of the game, you get a copy of this one for free?
Yeah.
Okay. Because they're not making people pay for it, but it's like, this is the one replacing the other one? Okay.
Oh, I see what they did. They just ported the console version over. Thank God.
Autosave. So that's
Oh.
like an option to have autosave. Not satisfied with at least 2 or 3 days of sand in the air. Now, for the rest of the week, it's going to rain. So I hope you like mod.
It's too hot.
Real.
What's the temperature right now? It is not 19 degrees. Genuinely? Wait, what? I looked at weather. Okay. It's 30 apparently. But it was 37 today.
It's 17 degrees supposedly.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, but there's a chance of rain today, and because we've had all of the sand for the past 2 or 3 days, it's going to be basically
Oh,
all
yeah.
muddy, so I love how my phone app goes like, just like the air quality indicator, and it says high, and you will think, oh, high quality? No, high amount of particles in the air. You cannot breathe.
Yeah, right?
Die.
Hi, shotgun.
What is this game?
What? No.
Oh, I see. I was confused for a second. Like, wait, what?
Yeah. You would be able to tell it's Snake Out anyway, because his voice is different.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to work tomorrow. It's too early. Well, that's not terrible. It's not great either. But it's better than working late, so...
Oh yeah, I need to show you the funniest Kamen Rider gift ever. That I had to make myself.
Let's see. What?
Does he know?
What?
Actually, the funniest Kamen Rider gift is a classic, which is this one. I didn't know or realize that this guy is one of the protagonists in Kamen Rider Blade, which is a series from the early 2000s.
Oh yeah.
And recently, one of my friends was finishing watching Forceps, which is from the early 2010s, from 2011, I think, or 2012. And this same actor shows up and he's like a teacher or something, and I didn't know. And it's like, wait, that's the guy from Blade. Wait, what? Because he's also like kind of important in the story. It's like, what are you doing here? That's so messed up.
Wow, that was like almost an hour, huh? Sorry, we were chatting
Whoa.
at the dinner
Okay.
table. Hey, friends.
Hello.
Hello.
Have you win yet?
I had food, if that counts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Jacqueline. Welcome. Okay, you guys can listen in on the...
Getting upset that people would say happy birthday to me because I felt like it was disingenuous. Like, you didn't know my birthday. You're just sending me a birthday announcement or a well wish because you saw an announcement. So what I did was, I thought that, I didn't actually say it, I thought it. Then I changed my birthday very secretly to 1 month prior. My birthday is October 29th. I set it to September 29th. And then I waited. And then everybody sent me happy birthday. And then I let the bomb down. I said, everyone who wished me happy birthday, you're not my friend. You're not my friend, you're disingenuous. I was actually mad. And then I got punched in the face. I got punched really hard when my friend said, when's my birthday? I didn't know. As a matter of fact, I thought about it, I didn't know anyone's birthday. I mean, I barely can remember my daughter's birthday. Come on. So I realized that that was a jerky move to do, and I moved my birthday back. Long story short, I would never do what we're getting ready to do. If someone says to you, "Tanjoubi wa itsu desu ka?" and it was like, it was the 15th. Let's give it another date. Let's say that your birthday was on the 5th. It was on the 5th. You're gonna be like, "Tanjoubi wa itsuka deshita. Tanjoubi wa itsuka deshita." My birthday was on the 5th. Remember, it's not goinichi. It is itsuka. Now, we could say watashi no tanjoubi, right? We could have actually had watashi no in there, like we learned when we learn possession, but you don't need it. Because if someone looks at you and says, Tanjoubi wa itsu desu ka? Who do you think they're talking about? If there hasn't been anyone around or any other discussion that we talked about, and they look right at you and say, Tanjoubi wa itsu desu ka? It means, Anata no tanjoubi wa itsu desu ka? So your answer doesn't have to have, Watashi no tanjoubi wa blah blah blah. You don't need it, okay? Alright, so that's how past tense works. Let me give you another one. We did that with nanyobi, and we didn't, didn't learn that yet, sorry. We only know nanchi right now. We use itsu, but what if we just wanted to ask a straight question? Remember we learned how to say, what is it? What is it? Nan desu ka? I suppose I should just tell you that scissors are hasami, because I bring them up in the examples a lot. Hasami, hasami, hasami. You'll hear some people call them toki. Matter of fact, when you play jankenpo, which is jankenpo is paper, scissors, rock. You'll also hear called jankenpong, jankenhoi, jankenho, a lot of names for it, but the scissor is choki. It's gu, choki, ta. Gu, choki, ta. Well, let's call them what they are. So I could ask you, nan desu ka? Nan desu ka? And you would say, hasami desu, hasami desu. But what if they're gone now? And I say to you, nan deshita ka? What were they? Nan deshita ka? Hasami deshita. They were scissors. So someone can ask you, nan deshita ka? What if you were out late last night in a park? Because there's a lot of Pokestops in that park. And you're with your friend and you go, damn it, it's gone. It's gone. It disappeared. Your friend could say to you, nan deshita ka? Because this is what happens when you're playing. Like you hear about a special Pokemon and then you go chase it and it's gone. And your friend could say, nan deshita ka? The answer is, Pikachu deshita. It was a Pikachu, because those are nice to get, right? Or a Charmander, right? Those are nice to get. Pikachu deshita. What if phone call came? You're talking, it's fun, and you hang up. Your friend says to you, Dare deshita ka? Dare deshita ka? See, we're not learning anything new, except for deshita, right? Everything else is still the same structure. If you say, who is it? I'm still on the phone. Dare desu ka? Tomodachi desu. It's a friend. Tomodachi desu. Hang up. Of course, no one hangs up like this anymore. Just hang up. Tomodachi deshita. It was a friend, right? It was a friend. What if, I don't know if I have a fun example for this, but let's say, I know. I remember what I did the first 2 times that I did this exact video. You are walking down the street and your friend has her purse on her shoulder and a car drives by. A man reaches his hand out the window, steals the purse, grabs it and drives away. Then the police come and they ask you, what did they just ask you? Nani iro deshita ka? It means what color was it? Now in this case, we don't know what he's talking about. There is no topic at this point. If the first question the cop asks you is, Nani iro deshita ka? He could mean the car and he could mean the bag. We don't know. So he probably would say, Kuruma wa nani iro deshita ka? Now we need a topic. Kuruma wa nani iro deshita ka? What color was the car? And it was a 2-color car. It had 2 colors. How would you say it's red and blue? Aka to ao deshita. Aka to ao deshita. Now, the second version of past tense that we're going to learn in course 2, lesson 8, will show you a way that some of you already know, but please don't ruin it for other people, because I need them to really understand what deshita is. There's another way using adjectives to make just the adjective past tense. Unless you're really, really curious, go to lesson 8 of course 2. But right now, just be happy with deshita. Deshita's really important now. Alright, so, when I was younger, I was really into J-pop. I went to concerts, I joined fan clubs. This is before the internet existed. So I actually joined a fan club and sent off a letter to the girl that I liked. I'm sorry, did someone ask me a question? I believe that question was, Dare ga suki deshita ka? Dare ga suki deshita ka? Because everyone wants to know, who did I like? People who've watched older videos probably already know. The answer is, Asaka Yui ga suki deshita. Asaka Yui ga suki deshita. I like Asaka Yui. She's really cute. Alright, so join us for the next, for those of you that are watching on the YouTube stream, which we're doing for the first time today, stay right here, right where you are, because we're going to do another 3 videos. I will see you then. For the rest of you, click the next video on the next section of the lesson. See you then. Done in. This is lesson 9 of Japanese from Zero, book 1, as you see on the screen. Or for those of you that are members of the website, it is course 1. Today we're going to talk about, or in this video, I guess, because some of you have been watching the videos nonstop, it's the same day. It's days of the week and years. Kind of a weird combination, but it's what we need to do right now. And also, you do need to know Ya, Yu, Yo, which are super important, because after Ya, Yu, Yo, when you learn the compound hiragana, you need to know Ya, Yu, Yo. It's the most important 3 hiragana probably that you need to know. And Wa, Wo, Un. Finally we add Un. Un is, I realized yesterday, my favorite hiragana. It's like a Zoro thing, like, it's really cute. And we learned this, you should have already learned this by now, it's Wo. Now I'm saying Wo because when you type it, you have to type W-O to get it on the screen, but a lot of times it really just sounds like an O, and we're gonna learn about that in lesson 10. But right now, just learn how to write it, and then when you get to 10, you'll finally be able to use it. All right, let's look at some new words. New words are Nanyobi. Nanyobi.
Not bad.
Nice little Un right there. Love Un. You know what's great about Un? So if you add an U in front of
Congratulations.
it's just a quick way to say yes. It's kind of sweet. It's the shortest word you can know in Japanese, I think, beyond like or o. Okay, so Nanyobi, what day of the week, and what year is Nannen? Nannen. Very important. Okay, and what the heck's happening here? What is happening here? I don't know why. Let's just get these on the screen. Wow, that's awkward. Whew. Okay, so we have these 3 words that we need to know that are year related. We have kotoshi, this year, kyonen, last year, and rainen, next year. So kotoshi, kyonen, rainen. Kotoshi, kyonen, rainen. Now I assume you've already been through the lesson. I assume you've already put some effort in memorizing these words. All right, now we need to know days of the week. Let's just go through them because they're kind of important. You're going to use them every day of the week. Getsuyobi, getsuyobi. Kayobi, ka-yobi, kayobi. Suiyobi, suiyobi. Mokuyobi, mokuyobi. Kinyobi, kinyobi. TGI kinyobi. Doyobi, doyobi. And nichiyobi. Now, you could just memorize this entire list. Getsuyobi, kayobi, suiyobi, mokuyobi, kinyobi, doyobi, nichiyobi, but it's a lot of things, right? It's yobi, 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 over again. So instead of that, what you can do is, you can learn what the Japanese do. They just do the first part, the part that I just now colored yellow. Gets, ka, sui, moku, kin, do, nichi. They say it really fast. Gets ka, sui, moku, kin, do, nichi. Gets ka, sui, moku, oh my gosh, my brain. Gets ka, sui, moku, kin, do, nichi. Gets ka, sui, moku, kin, do, nichi. So they say it like that, and a lot of times if they're saying a bunch of days and they're like, oh, what days are you working? Oh, I work sui, kin, nichi. They'll say it like that. They'll say just the first part of it. I don't need to do that yet because it takes a little bit of knowing how the days of the week work. I'd rather have you say, mokuyobi to, kinyobi to, nichiyobi. That's what I'd rather have you say at this point. Especially when you're saying just one day alone, it's never going to be that short form. All right, so let's say I wanted to ask you, what is the day of the week today? Before I show it to you, I'd like you to think about it. Someone got it. I heard it. I don't know if you know this, but when you stream on YouTube, you can hear people at home through they actually turn your camera on, and I get sound notifications in my Bluetooth. It's Kyou wa nanyobi desu ka? Kyou wa nanyobi desu ka? Now, if I looked at you and just said nanyobi desu ka, and there was no prior topic, you would assume you mean what day of the week is it without there being a today. Okay, so it doesn't have to be there. It's just nice. Kyou wa nanyobi desu ka? Now you'll see that the entire sentence is written in hiragana, which is great progression. All we really don't know in this sentence is the compound hiragana, which come after. Well, that's the last lesson of the hiragana, which is very soon. So, kyou wa nanyobi desu ka? The answer is, it was yesterday at least, it's not today, but let's assume today is Tuesday. So how would you say Tuesday? Kayobi desu, kayobi desu. What if it was Thursday? Mokuyobi desu, mokuyobi desu. You couldn't say moku desu. You couldn't say ka desu. You couldn't do that. If you said ka desu, it would mean it's a mosquito. So even though Japanese will say kasui to mean Tuesday, Wednesday, it doesn't mean you can just drop the yobi. You need yobi. I mean, it would be as awkward saying, hey, what day is it today? Oh, it's Mon. That's Tuesday. Yo, dude, it's Thursday. We don't do that, right? But we could say theoretically, yeah, I go to work Mon, no, we don't do Mon, Lens, Fry. We don't do that what Japanese do. So when you see it in an anime, or you see it in a drama, let me know when you see it. Okay. A common one, by the way, here is donichi. This donichi is the weekend, right? There's a word for weekend, it's shumatsu. Shumatsu, kind of a bonus word, not in the book. But sometimes we'll say donichi. My days off are donichi, let's say like that. And that just means Saturday and Sunday. What if it was Friday? A lot of people love Friday. I'm not a fan of Friday. I actually don't like Friday. Kinyobi. Kinyobi. Kinyobi desu. What if I wanted to ask you, we have this, when you make new friends in Japanese, you don't know a lot of Japanese yet. You're very limited in your Japanese. So the things you can say are very basic. But using what you know, we can now ask somebody, nanyobi ga suki desu ka? Nanyobi ga suki desu ka? What day of the week do you like? Now look, in the beginning, it's okay to have these super basic conversations. It's not bad. That's how you build up your basic understanding of Japanese. I promise you that as we move forward, these basic rules that we're learning will never, ever not be needed. They're gonna be needed in every huge sentence that we get. All right? I mean, imagine, he said that he likes Monday, but when I actually asked him, he said maybe Thursday would be a better day. You can say that later on. That's a big statement, but it's comprised of small parts that you're learning right now, with little words in the middle to connect them. That's really all it is. So if someone asked me, nanyobi ga suki desu ka? And by the way, they could have said, anata wa nanyobi ga suki desu ka? They could have said that. And more commonly, they might have said, I'm not sure if we talked about this in the videos, but the most common way that Japanese people say you is not anata. It's not even kimi, which you might have heard in anime. It's really common just to say the person's name. It's like they're talking to them in third person. That means there are probably billions of ways to say you. So it is awkward when you translate it into English. Someone might say to me, George wa nanyobi ga suki desu ka? What day of the week does George like? No. George likes, it's awkward. It's awkward, but they do it. Getsuyobi ga suki desu. Getsuyobi. I like Monday. Getsuyobi. I like Monday because you can, I have some stocks. Not a lot, just a little bit. I kind of play a little bit in the stock market. And you can't trade on the weekend, so I kind of hate the weekend. I like want to know it. And when we show you like what the stock is doing, so I have a lot of anxiety. Like, did I make money? Did I lose money? Okay, so Getsuyobi ga suki desu. What if someone asks you, 誕生日はいつですか? Now, if someone asks you, 誕生日はいつですか? And it's like next week, you could just say, or it's this week on a Friday, you could just say it's Friday. You could do that. You could now also give them the full date of your birthday, which for me is 10月29日です. Notice that I didn't have to say, 私の誕生日は10月29日です. I didn't have to say all of that. You could direct it at me. It's the equivalent of, oh, it's October 29th. Okay, I'm just gonna keep reminding you of that. What if my birthday is tomorrow? 明日です. 明日です. So my birthday could be tomorrow, or it could be 土曜日. 土曜日です. 土曜日です means it's Saturday. Okay, now let's finish up with talking about years. What we have on the screen right now says 2000年. 2000年. We learned counting way back 20-something years ago. And this is where we're going to use it. First time we're going to use numbers above 1,000. If you want to say the year 2000, you just say 2000 and add a nen. What about something like 1972? Now in English, we've split it up into two numbers. We say 19 and then 72. But in Japanese, you cannot just say 1972 nen. You can't do that. You have to say 1972 nen. So it's 1972 nen.
There's also the ending torikan.
That also means 1972 years. This means the year of 1972 and 1972 years, okay? What about this year? Now, I understand that my videos, I made videos back in 2002. They're still watchable. They're still on the website. Which is why I asked in that video what year it was. They would say it's 2016 right now, but literally in the video I would have said it's 2002, which is 2002, right? I would have said that. I could be dead. I could be dead. Literally, we could be watching this in 2028, okay? 2028 nen. And you're like, oh my God, I didn't even realize that this video was this old. Is George dead? And some of you right now watching this video just Googled me and found out that I died in China when a bus hit me. It was really tragic. I was in Tiananmen Square, and turns out the buses don't even stop for red lights. They just go, and I talked about it in an earlier video, and it happened frequently when I was visiting on a trip from Taiwan over to the mainland, and I got killed. Very sad. But hey, thanks for watching my video of the dead man. I love you, everybody. So right now, it is 2016. 2016年です. 2016年です. Now that we know years and months and days of the month, we can say full dates finally. Now in America, we have this very complicated system of saying month, then the day, then the year, which makes no sense. Like big thing, the big thing, then the month. Wait, how do we do it? We go middle thing, small thing, big thing. It's out of order completely. Now Europe gets better. Europe gets better with, I believe they do day, month, year, which is small, big, bigger. That's nice. But Japanese does the best thing. They do the biggest to the smallest. It's great for computers. Computers can order things properly. So if you want to say the day that I was born, it would be 1972年10月29日. Now you all know my birthday. Don't wait for that YouTube or Facebook or Twitter to let you know it's my birthday. And what day was I born? 私の誕生日は何曜日ですか? Now, 誕生日 can mean the day of birth or birthday. Typically, it means in everyday Japanese just birthday, but we don't know any other words yet, so we're gonna just say it like that. So when is the day? What day of the week is my birthday? Look it up. It was 日曜日. I thought we were done. No, I added this. Okay, this is good. So now we know how to say the years. I already did this just a second ago, but let's see. How would you say, what year is it this year? 今年は何年ですか? 今年は何年ですか? I see what I did. I imagined that it was 9 years in the future. It's 9 years in the future from 2016. So you have to add 9 to 2016. That becomes 2025. So this is the year that I almost died. It was a couple years later that I actually died in China. 2025年です。2025年です. What if we had a time machine and we went back to 1985? How would you say, because a lot of you were born in 1985. How would you say 1985? Yeah, wow, some of you guys got it. 1985年. 1985年です. What if you had a time machine and you went back in time, but you didn't know exactly where you were, and the person that you were with said, hey, 何年ですか? What year is it? And you're like, maybe it's 1801? Ah, do you remember maybe? Is it もちろん? もちろん means of course. It is 多分. 多分1801年です. 多分1801年です. Let's say we're asking about wine. I don't drink wine, but I know that was the only thing I can think of that has years. And you say, what year is good? 何年がいいですか? 何年がいいですか? What year is good? So maybe you're like, this is a 16T 1984, whatever. What year would you like on your wine or in your tea? 1950 is a very good year. Why would you say 1950 would be good? 1950 is good. Some of you were scrambling. 1950年がいいです. You can even say, someone says like, what year is good for you? You can say 1950年が美味しいです. Maybe you've drinking it before. Oh, 1950 is delicious. That's a weird thing to say out of context, but we're talking about wine. All right, let me ask you a question. Assuming that it is 2017 or 2016, oops. If I ask you, 来年は何年ですか? 来年は何年ですか? What's the answer? That means what year is next year? 来年は2017年です. 2017年です. But those of you that are watching in 2025, and I really hope this happens, that there are people watching right now in 2025, and their minds are blown. What is next year for you guys? 来年は何年ですか? 2026年. I'm sure we all share the same sentiment. I miss George. I miss that guy. He was a good guy. I'll see you all in the next lesson, which is, looks like lesson 9. The next thing in the PowerPoint says lesson 9, so I'll see you then. Bye-bye. This is lesson 9, and we are talking now about this next and last dates. This is a continuation of the lesson, but it was a little bit too much to fit into one video, so we went ahead and moved it to here. And you do have to know ya, you, yo, wa, wo, un. Now, there's a lot of words we need to learn, maybe 8. Let's go through them. We need to know how to say senshu, 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 if you listen to the audio on your Japan, Senshu, it's nice and robotic. That means last week. Now you'll notice a pattern. Sengetsu. Sengetsu is last month. They both start with sen. Now, some of you remember how to say the months, right? Remember it's Ichigatsu, Nigatsu, Sangatsu, but now all of a sudden, we're using Getsu to say month. That's a little bit confusing. That has to do with kanji. We don't know any kanji yet. We won't learn that until book 3 or course 3. And you will learn, I think, in like the second lesson, how to write that kanji. It means moon or month. And one of the readings is Getsu, and another one of the readings is Gatsu, and another one is Tsuki. Tsuki means moon. So what happens is Japanese words, Japanese kanji have many reading, and depending on the word, a different reading will be used. That's all that's happening here. Ichigatsu, Nigatsu, Sangatsu can never be Ichigetsu, Nigetsu, Sangetsu. That would be wrong. Just like Sengetsu can never be Sengatsu. Okay? So you'll just have to remember that.
Congratulations.
But trust me, people that are just now learning will make these mistakes. Konshu, this means this week. And some of you might already know.
A little bit of a slop. I don't know if it was before the 4:30.
So kon means this in this case, but really, the kanji for that is really now. So it's now week and now month. Now some of you who have already studied a little bit of Japanese might know that now is not kon, it's ima. But what you'll start learning in book 3 is that kanji has the multiple readings, and one of the readings for ima is kon. So depending on the word, the readings will be different. Now it sounds hard, but I promise you, it's what makes Japanese really, really awesome. To know the way words are made up is like knowing Latin for English. It's really, really amazing. So konshu, kongetsu, raishu for next week, and anyone now who guesses that next month is raiketsu, wow, you're really smart, but now you see the pattern. Sen, kon, rai. Sen, kon, rai. And the end is a shu, 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 getsu. It's a nice pattern to help you out. What about next year? We learned this year, last year, and next year in the last video, right? It was kotoshi. It doesn't fit the pattern, right? It seems like it would be nice if it was sennen, but sennen means 1,000 years. It won't work. So the word for last year is, sorry, I think I was going with kotoshi just a second ago, but last year is kyonen. Kyonen, not kyo, like today, shortened. Kyo. Kyonen is last year. Kotoshi, oh, I spit really big on the screen right now. A little bit too excited. Remember, our sponsor is 17T. Kotoshi is this year, and last year is kyonen. So it's very complicated. When you see next year's rainen, you might think, oh, it's sennen, konnen, and rainen, but it is not. It's kotoshi, kyonen, rainen. Okay. Let's get through the next thing. Oh, there they are right there. They're right there on the screen. Kyonen and kotoshi. Okay, so don't confuse them. So now if we go back to that same question. Tanjoubi wa itsu desu ka? You know what? Let me ask you a more simple thing, because I know some of my examples all of a sudden went to something complicated. So let me ask you something else. What if your birthday is next week? So I say to you, Tanjoubi wa itsu desu ka? Raishu desu. It's next week. What if it was next month? Raigetsu desu. Raigetsu desu. So you see, we can just use those words like normal. There's nothing special about them. But there is something very special that we can do, that we learned in this lesson. We're going to combine weeks and days of the week together to say, it's next Friday. Okay? This is a very common thing that we do in our life. Now, there is a word in Japanese for next. You probably know it if you studied anywhere else. It's tsugi. But we're not going to use that. Because really what we're going to be saying is, it's Friday of next week. And here's the pattern. You say, raishu no, and then that day of the week. Raishu no, for example, kinyoubi. Raishu no, kinyoubi. Now, the particle no, we know is used for possession. It's kind of like an apostrophe S, and it's used to take words like I and make it my, and you and make it your. But we also learned that it's used to make what we call no adjectives. This is where a noun has been turned into an adjective. That's really what's happening here. Raishu is a noun, kinyoubi is a noun, and can you have two nouns together without no connecting them? Without something connecting them? No. So you always put the no there. But another way to think of no is, it is of. So we are really saying Friday of next week. In Japanese, it likes to, compared to English, it's reversed, right? In English, we like to say small and then go big in our concept. I'll talk about that more later. Japanese go big and then small. They scale it down. So that's why week goes to day. That's why their dates are year, month, day. They start big concept and scale down. If you remember that, when you forget orders of things, that will help. You can never say, for example, kinyoubi no raishu. Because in English, that sounds like it would make sense, right? Friday of next week. Because no can mean of, right? You can't do that. It's raishu no kinyoubi. What if your birthday was this Thursday? We know how to say this, but it's not the right this. We can't say kore here. There's no way to do that, okay? You would say Thursday of this week. Konshu no day is the pattern. That means the day of this week. Konshu no day. In English, we just say this Thursday. But we all know it means this week, right? So, konshu no mokuyobi. Konshu no mokuyobi. What if your birthday was last Wednesday? Now, I want to point out before we give the answer here. In all of these other answers, des should be there. If someone says to you, Tanjoubi wa itsu desu ka? You don't just say, Raishu no kinyoubi. It's way abrupt. It's not nice to say it that way, okay? With friends, you can, not a big problem. But normally, you're going to want to have des. It's going to sound more. Look, I was a tour guide. I was a tour guide for, I think, 6 or 7 years, okay? Tell my wife even. And I remember I would talk to Japanese people and I wouldn't use the des. I would do like, they would say, hey, when is the tour? And I would say something like, Raishu no kinyoubi. And this is what they would be like. They don't know that I'm done. Des signifies that my sentence is done, right? So make sure you have the des. I remember thinking at the time, I was like, wow, that's really weird. All I didn't do was not use des. You think as an English, you can say next Friday. You literally just say next Friday. You don't have to say it's next Friday. In Japanese, you should. So now we're saying it was last Wednesday. Or it was Wednesday of last week. So the way you do it is senshu no, I think you said better. Yeah. The only difference is, because it's past, we have to have deshita now. So, senshu no suiyobi deshita. Senshu no suiyobi deshita. It was Wednesday. You jerk. how did you not go? And he's like, you didn't even invite me to the party. Party wa itsu desu ka? Party wa itsu desu ka? When's the party? Let's go back and try to remember what we did. It's the 15th of next month. Now, I didn't teach you this pattern yet, but we just did a very similar pattern. We're not going to say 15th first. Remember, we're going to go big into the smaller concept. Month into day of month. Before I say it, see if you can figure it out. How do you say 15th of next month? It's Raigetsu no, and then the date. So it's 15th. Oh man, I'm going to typo here. It says Raigetsu no 10 gatsu. October of next month. Which I think might complicate some people, might confuse people. And now for some reason, everything's shifted. Give me 1 second. The PowerPoint has moved. I'm not sure what page I'm on. Here it is. So we don't want to say Raishu no. And actually it says Raishu no 15 gatsu, which doesn't exist, right? There's no 15th month. All right, here we go. So it is Raigetsu no 15 nichi. Oh, and I noticed another typo. Do you see that typo? Wow. It says Raigatsu. Can't have Raigatsu, right? That's wrong. It is Raigetsu. Excuse me. What I did is too much copy and pasting of my PowerPoint and not too much checking of what I wrote. Okay. Raigetsu no date, Raigetsu no 15 nichi. What if it was the first of this month? Now this makes you go back to that last video and try to remember, how do you say first of the month? How do you say this month? Kongetsu no date is the pattern. So, kongetsu no 1 nichi. It's never ichinichi. Remember, ichinichi means 1 day. Doesn't mean the first of the month. Kongetsu no 1 nichi. What if it had already passed? You weren't invited to the party because you drink a little bit too much 17 tea and you get a little bit crazy. It was the 4th of last month. Sengetsu no date. Sengetsu no 4日 deshita. When was the party? Sengetsu no... too much tea. Sengetsu no 4日 deshita. It was the 4th of last month. All right, what if someone asks you? There's a new word here. They ask you, Sotsugyo wa itsu desu ka? Sotsugyo means graduation. It can mean graduation from high school, graduation from college, graduation from anything. Okay? Now, you saw what we did. We went week to day, month to day of the month. Now we're going to do it with year and month. So we're going to say, it's next March. Sotsugyo wa itsu desu ka? Rainen no month. Rainen no, how do you say March? Rainen no 3 gatsu desu. Rainen no 3 gatsu desu. Okay? What if it's this May? I mean, the pattern's there. Just think for a second. All you have to do is say, we're not going to say this, we're going to say May of this year, right? Kotoshi no month is the pattern, and month is May.
It's like a level stop for
Kotoshi no
ageism.
5 gatsu.
Level 99.
Kotoshi no 5 gatsu. And of course, maybe you already graduated.
I'm so
graduated
close.
in April. So it was April of last year, or last April.
Last time.
去年の month. 去年の4月.
So true. I even had I think it was 145, 500, so I don't know if I like slowed down during 500 to 1000 or if it was 1000 plus, but it was like, cry. Okay, we'll do a bit more and then we should switch over to Puyo because I've got my Hitachi match tonight. So I didn't have 100. Yeah, there was the cleanup I had to do. That was like, was it really that much time waste? It feels like I was pretty ahead of pace, you know? So it must have also been somewhere else. Whatever.
That's this. Woo! That's it. You learned a really great pattern. I hope you can keep it together. In the next lesson, we're going to be learning how to ask for things. I'll see you then. Jane. Welcome back. This is lesson 10, and we are going to be talking about asking things. This is lesson 10 in book 1. This book right here. And asking things is a very simple lesson, so we're not going to take a long time in this video, but I do have some exciting news. You do have to know ra, ri, ru, re, ro, which means we have now been through the entire top portion of this chart. We're done. That's it. We have done it all in just 9 lessons. And now we have this last one, which is so easy that we do it in 1 lesson. We have 1 more hiragana lesson left, and you will know all the hiragana. That's how sweet that is. Ra, ri, ru, re, ro. First word, coincidentally, has a ra in it. Ikura. Ikura. We have been through so many question words. It's kind of nice. We can ask a lot of questions and we can answer these questions. Very, very nice. So if you want to ask somebody, how much is it? Ikura desu ka? We already know this. Now, there's a lot of words in this lesson because we're asking for things, and I need to give you some things that you can ask for, and we have some restaurant situations set up. But I just want to go through a couple of them to make sure that you understand. Potato. It's kind of awkward that French fries are not called Frenchy fry. You would assume they're called Frenchy fry because that's what Japanese people do, right? But they're called potato. And a potato itself in Japanese is called imo. Okay? Not called potato. So, remember that. French fries is potato. Now, we don't have this word in the new words. We have the word beef for beef. There's another word for beef in Japanese, which is gyuniku, but they do say beef. And the word for sandwich is sandoichi, and the short version is sando. But you'll see noun plus noun without a no in the middle. Okay? Beef sando would be a beef sandwich. And the reason why there's no in there is when you have kind of a known word, a lot of times the no gets dropped. Like for example, I could say chicken sando, a chicken sandwich, because the item itself is not chicken no sando. I could say that, but the item itself is known as chicken sando or beef sando. So the no won't be there. That confuses some people. For some reason, I have it again here, so we can ignore that. We can ignore that one. Otsuri, good word, means change. We're not going to actually use it, but I just like you to know. Otsuri. You could say, how much is the change? Otsuri wa ikura desu ka? Otsuri wa ikura desu ka? Or maybe you sent your son or your daughter off to get something and they act like there was no change. You can say, how much was the change? Otsuri wa ikura deshita ka? Kids hate that answer because then they gotta give you the money. Otsuri wa ikura deshita ka? Of course, by the way, you wouldn't talk to your kids in that way. It's too polite. You talk to your kids in a much more informal setting. But we're not there yet. Let's make sure we master the nice way of speaking before we learn the casual way of speaking. So, otsuri wa ikura deshita ka? Okay, now the two main things we need to know for this lesson are kudasai. You'll notice that there is a little squiggly in front of it. Whenever you see a squiggly before or after a word, it means something is required. You're never going to just say, kudasai, kudasai. You're not going to do that. Kudasai almost always works with something in front of it. Onegai shimasu. Onegai shimasu is another way to say please. It also means I request. You might remember it from yoroshiku onegai shimasu. I want to point out, by the way, there's a space here. Japanese never have spaces. The entire Japanese language does not use spaces. So when you see a space in a lesson, that is the teacher being kind to you. We use spaces in our books, even up through books 1 and 2 use spaces. The more kanji you learn, the easier it gets to break it up. Like in your visual, when you're looking at it, if there's no spaces and it's just hiragana in a row, it's really hard to break up the words. So what we do is we put the spaces in. Typically, we like to have a space after a particle because that's more natural. But Japanese itself does not have official spaces. They don't need them because the kanji break it up. You have kanji, 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 particle in hiragana, kanji with hiragana following it, particle in hiragana. So it's easy to break it up. But right now in the beginning levels, we're putting spaces so that you can better recognize the words. So when we learned yoroshiku onegai shimasu, we learned that was like something you say in the beginning when you first meet somebody. Please be kind to me, or kindly I request. I request kindly. And that's all it is. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. So this is the same thing. But in this case, it's going to mean please something. Okay. So in order. Oh, and by the way, onegai shimasu can be used all by itself. That's the one where you can go onegai shimasu, onegai shimasu, onegai shimasu. You also hear the casual version of it, which is just onegai, onegai. We need to know. Remember, we learned how to write wo in the last lesson. So this is very important. In this lesson, it's a particle, and wo is always a particle. It's almost never written as anything else, okay? It is the object marker. I know that doesn't make sense yet, but it marks an object, okay? We're gonna use it today. We're also gonna use this. Mo. Fancy name for mo is the inclusion marker. It means also or too. Like me too, or scissors also, okay? I like to give it a name. It is the inclusion. We're including it in whatever else we just said. Let's go ahead and get right into some examples. So someone can ask you, Nani ga suki desu ka? What do you like? Maybe you're in a language class. Nani ga suki desu ka? I would say, and maybe you would say, Nihongo ga suki desu. Nihongo ga suki desu. I like Japanese language. Oh yeah. Kankokugo mo suki desu. Kankokugo mo suki desu. That's where the mo comes in place. Notice, but that means, by the way, I also like Korean language. So notice that we have the ga here. Nihongo ga suki desu. Okay? The mo replaces the ga. It doesn't get added to it. It completely replaces the ga. Okay? So mo is multifunctional. It replaces the ga. It replaces a lot of different things. Okay? So kankokugo mo suki desu instead of ga means I also like. Demo. But Spain go wa kirai desu. Now I'm using the wa to emphasize that I don't like Spanish. I dislike it. Demo Spain go wa kirai desu. I mean, I don't really hate it or dislike it. I just never thought to learn it because so many people speak it, it didn't feel special to me. But I will learn it. It's on my list now. Demo Spain go wa kirai desu. But as for Spanish, I dislike it. So now you see what we've done. We were able to take a similar sentence, we used 3 different particles, and got a different meaning out of the sentence. This one you're just saying, I like Japanese. The next one you're saying, I also like Korean. And the next one you're emphasizing Spanish, dislike it. Okay? So that's what these particles do in Japanese. They really set the tone for the sentence. Alright? Oh yeah, forgot about this. Tagalog means Tagalog, okay? Tagalog mo kirai desu. I also dislike Tagalog. For the main reason that I actually don't hate Tagalog. I know some like Hindi, Hindi ko alam. I don't know. I remember all of the Tagalog. I was in the Philippines. My dad sent me there when I was 16. My dad sent me to the Philippines with no money. I went and lived with his third wife. And he made me stay in the barrio.
Why is he
and literally, I was
saying
in the barrio. That is like the slum. And there was, we were in a house with 3 walls and a roof, but no floor. It was dirt. And I had to pump water out of the ground. There was one time in my life that I actually had muscles. And I had to walk down to the water basin to go to the bathroom. I had to carry a bucket of water.
What?
And I had to be careful.
Nice!
That's not why I don't like Tagalog. I don't like Tagalog because all Filipinos can speak English. It's a waste of my...
Sorry. What were you saying? You said something about why is he not... something?
He's saying kirai instead of he'll say kirai and say like dislike or don't like. When it should be skijanai.
Yeah. No, he did talk about like, oh, skijanai is definitely gender, but I assume it's just for the word knowledge, like the vocab.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Because I would never like.
Kirai is like a kind of strong word.
Yeah.
I wouldn't use kirai unless I meant it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely. How close was I? Like, what was my pace before? It was 12. Because, like, I was on good pace then. I thought I was a little slow because my 500 entry was bad, but, oops. Wait, where are you? Oh, right. Yeah, the music couldn't play. So I think it was like 150s, so I must have played pretty fast in the other section. Oh, it was 151. That's actually pretty good. It was 1000. I am a lot more consistent though, at least. I was lowest up tier for a bit, that definitely didn't help. Let's see, 151, my entry time is... so I took 136, which is 96 seconds. Also 20 averaging, and then this also gives me 20-second average for the final sections, so I was pacing really well. Let's see. 327, so that was 19 seconds, so I have plenty of time here. What did I do?
I had plenty of time. Does in fact not have plenty of time.
No. Hold on. I need to turn you up right now. Unless you're quiet right now.
No, turn me up then. Because
Okay.
my mic is at 100% and I don't know if it's like just Discord doing a funny.
Yeah, I need to turn you up to like 200%. That's like never usually the case.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Is that just me?
No, he did a little bit.
Okay.
Did anything change?
Does not seem to have.
Better now?
Not really?
I am able to turn
oh.
my mic even further beyond 100%. So
I guess that did work,
110.
which is weird, but like, it is working now.
This is a new thing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Why
Like, this is my first time doing, like, putting the volume up to above 100%. I didn't know that I even could do that.
That's weird. But it seems to be good now. Like, I can put you at 100% as usual, and it seems to be okay. Weird. Anyway,
I don't know.
you said something, and I didn't hear.
I don't remember what I said.
Fair enough.
What was it been about?
Oh,
it was probably some stupid meme, yeah, but never mind.
I see, I see.
The plenty of time meme.
Oh yeah.
Do I know this? Do you guys have to culture me again?
I don't know about this actually. Well,
Hold on.
It's wish when you copy an image, you would copy the image.
Wow, that was 18 seconds. I had 26 seconds, guys. I fumbled. What the heck did I do? Oh, yeah. Okay, well, anyway.
oh yeah.
Oh, and then that piece went over. And then that piece didn't go in. Okay, to be fair, it's like a lot of... And then that piece didn't go over. Okay, this actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah, this is just 1200.
I got plenty of time.
Yeah, let's see. What is this? I've not seen this before.
It is a mood.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Bruno. I was so far ahead of pace. Okay, one more, and then we'll do like an hour of practice before that match, I guess. Okay, hold on.
How does this even happen?
Very nice.
It's like, you know when you're like setting up like an online shop or something, and there's like the payment processors thing where you like put your card details and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want that on your thing, you have to like talk to the bank, and they give you like the credentials so you can set it up on your website or whatever.
Okay.
How? Like one of our customers was like, "Oh, we want to like renew the thing for the website for like the payments and such." And somehow they got 3 different contracts, like 3
What?
new ones.
Ow.
Like we got the process is that you talk to the bank, and the bank gives you like the testing credentials, so like you can set it up, and then if everything's alright, they give you like the proper credentials. Like you make a couple of fake payments of like things. Okay, you can properly use the app or whatever. So we did that. Like, okay, here's the test credentials. We tried those out, and they were fine. Just like, okay, we're ready to move with like the next step. Like, give us the production credentials so we can move forward. And instead, we get a new set of credentials twice.
Oh my gosh.
And the customer has like literally no idea what they're doing apparently. And it's only today that we found out that they did the process like 3 different times.
Oh my goodness, geniuses.
For whatever reason.
Jeez.
It's like, how does this even happen?
Miserable.
What?
Yeah, what are they doing?
The best thing is, instead of like telling us what they were doing, whenever they did the process, instead of writing a proper email or anything, no, they just like forward the original email from the bank with the testing credentials and no context attached. So we're like, what?
Yippee.
What do you want me to do with this?
Everyone cool? What does this even mean? I feel like... What? Alright.
Although I did learn a lot. Like my wife, not my wife, my mother would say like, Delina, which means her. Okay. As you can see, I'm into languages. But right now, I'm really... Now here's the thing. I really should say, instead of Kirai, because Kirai is a strong phrase, right? I should say, I'm
there
not
we go.
interested. But we don't know how to say that right now. And here's the thing. You might want to say, I'm not interested because Kirai seems a little bit harsh. And it is harsh. But you don't know how. So what are you going to do? Are you going to struggle and not say anything? I like to always remind people, say what you can say, not what you want to say. And I know that sounds like a weird thing because normally we get what we want, right? And you should struggle to figure out how to say that. But you know what? When you know how to say it, then say it. In the middle of a conversation, don't get stuck on a stupid thing like, oh, I'm not interested. You know what you could do? You could say this. Spain go wa kirai desu. And then go, kirai denai desu. I don't dislike it. Demo suki janai desu. You know, you can mix it up as much as you can, get close to target in on the thing that you want to say. But don't sit there and not communicate. So say what you can say, not what you want to say. Eventually, the thing you want to say,
Talking about
you'll be able to say.
Spanish language, like he doesn't like the
Say you're in a
Spanish
restaurant?
language.
I don't know if it was by example or if it was like he actually had a thing, but...
I don't understand. Like,
It was by example.
Okay,
encountered some people that say, "Oh, I don't like this language."
Oh yeah,
It's
sure.
like,
It's like, how?
Wow, I
what do
hate
you
this
mean you like the
language.
Like,
It sounds racist.
what?
I mean,
It sounds
I
so
hate,
weird. I don't know.
like, I hate
had a friend in
Japanese
high
as much as
school.
this guy. So.
Yeah, it's basically that. I had a friend in high school who's like, "Oh, I don't like Japanese
What? Why?
Wow.
because it sounds." The sounds are very hard or something.
Oh my
It's
gosh, that
like,
sounds
Oh,
easy.
okay, that's actually just racism.
Yeah, right?
yeah.
Jeez.
My 12-year-old ass, like, looking at him like, what? What are you doing? What are you saying? What?
Yeah. That's very strange.
Or you have some choices in front of you, and this is the possible thing that someone would say to you. Now, obviously, in a restaurant, it might be a higher level Japanese said to you, but this is a very possible thing. Nani ga ii desu ka? Nani ga ii desu ka? Which means, what is good? But in this case, it's like, well, what is good for you? What would you like? So this can be translated as what would you like? Nani ga ii desu ka? And normally, nani ga ii desu ka, you maybe hear like, dore ga ii desu ka? Which one would be good? Dore ga ii desu ka? Right? But in this case, because we don't know a lot of Japanese, because I don't want to overwhelm you, we're going to just use this phrase you already know. Nani ga ii desu ka? You're at McDonald's, and you're going to order. Here's how the guy
That's
went.
that's it. Go.
S no potato o kudasai. S no potato o kudasai. Now in this lesson we learned the 3 sizes, right? S, M, L. Yes, that's what they say. They don't say small, medium, and large. They say S, M, L. T-shirts are the same, sizes of drinks are the same, sizes of fries are the same. They say S, M, L. But they connect it with no. So S no potato means a small French fry. So give me a small fry. Hamburger to L no cola mo kudasai. That's how you use. I kind of skipped over that. I apologize. O is marking the object. the object, the thing that we would like, the object, the target word is potato. Okay, and then S no modifies it. So small potato o kudasai. S no potato o kudasai. Anything plus o kudasai. Hasami o kudasai. Scissors, please. Give me scissors. Hasami o kudasai. Hamburger to L no cola mo kudasai. Also give me hamburger and a large cola. Now, look at that. Mo is now replacing the object marker. Mo is like an amazing particle that can replace ga, it can replace wa, it can replace o. We just learned o and already replacing it, okay? Because it does the function of all of those things, okay? Ikura desu ka? You just ordered a hamburger, a large Coke, and a small potato. A small fry. So, ikura desu ka? How much is it? 1,600 yen desu. 1,600 yen desu. 1,600 yen. Let's continue this dialogue. Now you go back to your friend's table, okay? And he says, ikura deshita ka? Ikura deshita ka? How much was it? What's the answer? 1,600 yen deshita. 1,600 yen deshita. It was 1,600 yen. N, not yen. If it was dollars, you would say dollar. We learned that also in this lesson. Okay, now he wants to say, I also want a hamburger. What is getting included? Is the hamburger getting included? I'm trying to figure out where the mo comes in the sentence. Or if I be included? Am I the one that's included? I am, right? Because me too. I also want a hamburger. So, what do you say? Watashi mo hamburger ga hoshii desu. If you didn't say watashi mo here, it's awkward. If you just out of the blue said, like your friend goes, he brings like a hamburger and a fries, and you go, oh, how much was it? And you go, I want a hamburger. It's not as natural as, oh, I want a hamburger too. Right, and that's what you're saying. And even though you're saying, I want a hamburger too, the two is not after hamburger, it's really after I too want a hamburger. Okay? So you wouldn't say hamburger mo hoshii desu, because that would mean you already have something. And you also want a hamburger. But really what you're saying is, I also want a hamburger. And a lot of people mess this up. Watashi mo hamburger ga hoshii desu. It's hamu burger. Japanese don't have an sound. It's hum is wrong. Hamu burger. Wait a minute. Is it hamburger?
So we'll go in the
I feel like I'm
tangent of
messing up Japanese.
distinguishing
Look at
between
the back of the book here.
hamburger and
Hakasatana.
hamburger, because there are different things in Japanese.
Yeah.
Something we learn, we don't learn the verb to eat until book 2. So here's book 2. Give me 1 second. Kind of been happening. I realized I might be saying hamburger wrong.
This is crazy.
Because ham is hamu. Hakasatana ha. If you learn that order, you're going to do very well in life. It is, I am wrong. It is hamburger. It is an N. So I'm going to correct that. Somebody must have said it, and I heard it in the Bluetooth over the YouTube stream. So
I like that now.
It's reality, right? I want you to realize this.
Oh wow, big burn.
Even I made a
Wow.
mistake, right?
Nice.
I made a mistake. And it's okay to make mistakes. So if you're one of those guys that's like, I'm not going to speak Japanese, don't get perfect Japanese, you're never going to speak Japanese. My Japanese is really good, but I just made a stupid mistake with hamburger. I said hamubaga, which is wrong. It would have been understood, but it's wrong. It's hamburger. Hamburger. And I should check. All right, but my overconfidence made me wrong. So what we've done in this lesson is we talked about kudasai only. Let's back it up, okay? You can also, whenever we said kudasai, we could have said onegaishimasu. It is a much more polite way to say please give me something. So I could say esu no potato o onegaishimasu. Esu no potato o onegaishimasu. Han, not hamu. I'm gonna correct it. I'm gonna make sure we don't have a big word typo. Okay. Oh, I left here because it just popped off. Sorry about that. Hamburger to L no cola mo onegaishimasu. Okay, so wherever we're using kudasai, we can say onegaishimasu, and it is much more polite. You can say kudasai, it's very polite, it's not a problem. Onegaishimasu is just a little bit more bringing yourself down here, a little bit more humbling. Okay? And we have no more kudasai here. Alright? So, after my friend has told me, watashi mo hamburger ga hoshii desu, let's say he said, onegaishimasu. He just randomly said onegaishimasu. Now it's like saying, yoroshiku onegaishimasu. He means, please. He means me go get it. When he says, onegaishimasu, onegaishimasu. Watashi mo hamburger ga hoshii desu. Onegaishimasu. He either means buy it for me or go get it for me. Which of course I'm going to say no. I'm going to go do that. Alright, one final thing, kind of a fun thing to end on. And it's in the lesson. We're learning particles, and we just learned how to say mo also. You might say to your girlfriend, thinking you're being nice, you might say, kyou wa kirei desu. Oh, you're pretty today. Well, wa can be used as emphasis, right? So this is like saying, you're pretty today. It doesn't always mean that. I mean, it's not grammatically wrong to say you're pretty today, but it could be emphasis. And you can take it that way. Today, you're pretty.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I
you're
remember
pretty
learning
today.
this.
No
It's
problem.
so
You're
fun.
pretty today. You're mad, right? And I didn't come up with this joke. I literally have been told it many times when I make a mistake when I was learning Japanese. What you should say, kyou mo kirei desu. You're pretty also today, which means every other day you're also pretty. Okay? What Japanese like to do is they'll say, we don't know this phrase, but they'll put like, aikawarazu, like always, kyou mo kirei desu. As always, you are also pretty today. That's it for this lesson. I'll see you next time, where we're going to talk about a bunch of counters.
So that's the thing.
Counters. Everyone's been asking for counters.
That's the same
It's
thing
time
that
we
you
get
do
to
in
some of
any
the
other
counters in
language.
lesson 11.
Yeah.
I think that's true. I think I'm not lying to you. I'm going to double check. It is. Counting up. I'll see you then.
Yeah,
Done,
I mean, you say you look pretty today. It implies.
You could take it as well, like,
Hello,
oh,
welcome
to
to
be like
lesson
popular
11.
this
A
and
lot of
not
people
fitting.
kept asking after the number lesson, are you going to do a video on counters?
But in Japanese, you
Yep.
can
I'm going to do it right
at
now. We're
least
going to start with
dissuade that by
counters
going,
that are in
you,
book
like,
1,
you
lesson 11.
also
There are a
look
lot of
pretty
counters in
today.
Japanese.
And it doesn't
By
sound
the way,
as stilted as it
we
does
have
in
finished here
English.
on.
Yeah,
You need to
yeah.
know what these are. This
They
is
also
Kachi,
sounds
Chachi,
really
Cho,
weird in
Chachi,
English,
Cho.
yeah.
Those are some
Yeah, you
of the
also look
compound
pretty
together.
today. Like,
Remember I said Yayo will learn important.
who else
I'll
looks
video back
pretty?
on the last video if I can remember. This is why, because that little small Yayo is what you need to make the compounds. And even within here, I can see two words. They're basically sounds. Ka! Ka! that's Japanese screaming. And then you've got choo, choo, that's the Japanese sound for a kiss. And also it's the sound that a mouse makes. Choo, 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 choo. All right, it's kind of a bonus lesson for you guys. Let's get right into the counters. We're gonna do 4 counters in this lesson, and I started with what I feel are the most important counters and the counters that are most beneficial to get you started on the track of understanding counters.
Oh,
the very first counter and most important counter is what we're gonna call the
Is this just like an overview of like literally
the
every
word that we're
single
calling the
grammar
counter is
point?
the question word. How many? So I know it's weird,
yeah.
but even the word changes.
Yoshi,
based on the counter
I
you're
should
using.
send you
The
my like
question word changes.
Genki
And how does it change? Well,
PDFs.
how does it work?
Oh yeah, sure, why not?
In Japanese, it's based on the shape of the object, the type of the object, and that's basically what it is. Now in English, believe it or not, we have the same thing. Now, a lot of people conveniently forget. They're like, oh my god, Japanese is so hard because they've got the counters and English doesn't do that. We say one for everything. No, we don't. For example, hey, I'd like a slice of scissors. We don't say that. We say slice of pizza. We say piece of cake.
Slice
We
of
say
scissors.
we say grains of sand. See what I'm saying? We do it in English. And then for groups, we even have more. Japanese has one word for group. We have like a school of fish, a herd of cattle, a murder of crows. Did you know it was a murder? A murder? Can you imagine explaining that to Japanese? Right? Murder? Why would it be murder? So, I'm teaching you ikutsu first because it's the one that you can use when you forgot which counter to use, which will happen. So this is the generic counter, and oh, you know, I really wish I had put the entire list up. There's a list. It's in the lesson. Go to the lesson. I'm going to tell you what page it is for those of you that have the book. This is lesson 11, and we have full lists of all the counters on the website also, and on the current version of the book it is page 10. That can shift a little bit depending on the version of the book. But the ikutsu counter counts like this. And I'm assuming you already know. We're going to talk about the usage today. It's 1つ、2つ、3つ、4つ、5つ、6つ、7つ、8つ、9つ、10. So this is the second counting system that we talked about when we did the dates, the days of the month. So for example, we had 1日、2日、3日. That's very similar to 1つ、2つ、3つ. The beginning of the word is very similar, so you can easily draw a comparison to them. Please go to the lesson and review it so that you know what we're talking about. 1つ、2つ、3つ、4つ、5つ、6つ、7つ、8つ、9つ, 10. I remember when I was 12.
It's not
I just moved to
Yatsu,
Japan.
right?
I was learning this system. I had this Japanese class. I was a
it's
really
Yotsu.
bad student. Like I was really rude to the teacher. I was just like, you know, there's that word. Shitsureishimasu.
Yeah,
We haven't really discussed it, but they teach that in the beginning. Sometimes it's what you do when you come into a word. You say shitsureishimasu. It means I'm going to interrupt.
Yeah,
But it's spelled
yeah,
SHITSURE. And I would always say those exactly. I'm not gonna do it right now, but I would be like, I wouldn't say shitsureishimasu. I would say short I. I gotta keep it friendly. This is the school edition of these videos. That's what I would do. Another thing that I would do that my father thought was really crazy is I'd run around the house saying coconut soup. He thought I was saying coconut soup because 9 things is coconut soup. So for example, let me show you an example of what we can do. So if I have one thing in my hand, I cannot say ichi. I can't say I have ichi thing. Now we don't know how to say have yet. That's coming up. No spoiler alerts, please. That's coming up in 2 lessons, okay? Or 3 lessons. So you have to say I have hitotsu. I have hitotsu. I cannot say I have ichi. You almost never can say just the numbers by themselves. You have to have
Japanese language.
Now I have 2 things. I have 2 things. Hitotsu desu. There are 2. Hitotsu desu. So I do this.
Learning about Gordon verb
That's the
conjugation.
generic. And you'll see all these little objects that I have on the screen. We have a chair, we have a hamburger, which I actually
then
call
it's
the
like-
hanu baga, but it's a
Oh,
hamburger. We have
what
glasses,
are
we have a
these-
heart, we have a key. Here's a really important thing. It also covers abstract things that are not
is
physical things.
the-
For example, I have one idea. Okay?
The
Idea.
like
Hitotsu. One idea. Okay?
equal, what does that mean? And it's like,
the only
don't
thing
think
really
about
can't
that.
Is living things because they have all separate counters. We'll get to.
You're not
And I
allowed
think
to
lesson
yet.
4, book 2. All right, let's look at the next one, which is also a generic counter. It's a secondary generic counter. I'll explain why in a second. This is the nanko counter. Nanko. Okay, so ko means like nanko is round and small things typically. But the thing about the ikutsu counter, the first one we just did,
Is
it ends at 10.
these are
It
the
goes
fir-
1つ
the
2つ
four
3つ
most
4つ
important.
6つ7つ8つ9つ 10.
Well,
And then
before to get
after
started
that,
with,
it
I
jumps to the
guess.
nanko counter. It continues
Which
as a
Yeah.
nanko.
maybe,
So it will go like
yeah,
this.
most
11
important, I
You don't
guess.
say 11 ko, it's 11 ko, 12 ko, 13 ko, 14 ko, 15 ko, like that.
Lucky
And
my
it's the count.
guesses.
So the same thing.
Suit,
Just like you can say
obviously.
ichiko, you can't say
Torikans.
ichiko, it's
And
ikko.
then ko,
Ikko. Let's just rule
obviously.
it's in the list.
I
Please
think
go look at the list.
hon,
Ikko, nikko,
and
sanko,
then,
yonko, just like that. Don't say.
Mai?
I just read this. Okay, so we had yonko, right?
yeah, either
Remember I said
mai or
shi's almost
hon.
never used, right?
And
Except for,
then
like, shigatsu
have we
and shikaku, which means square.
Have you already
well, if you said
done,
shiko here by mistake, shiko, that
the
means piss, urine. I
people
shouldn't say
counter?
piss, but yeah, that's what it means. Shiko is like really rough. Oshiko is a little bit more polite. So don't say
yeah,
shiko.
that's
It's when you
so
beat.
simple.
Don't say that. All right. So as you can see, the things that can counter with nanko are generally all small fruits, round things, like apples,
I was trying to
oranges, and
figure out
all sorts of ball
whether
types,
my hon would be
lemons, tape, dice, whatever's on the picture. They use the nanko counter. Then we have the nambon counter. Now the nambon counter is a little bit rough. A little bit rough because it can be a P sound, an H sound, or a B sound. Remember when you learned ha, hi, hu, he, ho? And it was
got
ha,
it.
hi, hu, he, ho, and pa, hi, hu, he, po. So that last character could be ho, bo, or po. And it does that depending on what number it is. So if you look in the book, we have it. It is the third list over. Ippon, nihon, sanpon, yonhon, gohon, roppon, never rokuhon, nanahon, happon, but happon can be hachipon, and kyuhon, and juppon.
Man, his magic
I
is way too
sort
insane.
of agree with the thing. Oh, counters are not that difficult, but also like they're way harder than in English or in Spanish or in whatever language. At least in
Yeah,
European
because I think in English, there's more of them in English though, right?
more total like counter words, but in terms of like, I don't know what you call them, not conjugation, but you know what I mean, like the different way of saying the numbers isn't present.
Is it germination actually?
Germination?
Let me see. Oh,
yeah, I might have heard of this before, but it doesn't ring a bell immediately. Yeah.
No, not germination. Yeah, germination is the articulation of a consonant for a longer period of time than that of a single consonant. It's in Japanese like the small tsu.
Ah.
That has a name.
Yeah.
I suppose it has
It's
to.
like germination from like Gemini.
Oh, what?
Like
Which
Right.
means?
Twins, right? Like the
Ah.
it's tech. Come on.
Wow, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. The tech.
Yeah. The tech. What? Because once upon a time, words like, what was it? Like, it would probably be like ichihon, right?
Yeah, sure.
Words like ichihon over time get reduced down
Yes.
because you're saying it, and over the years, like, because they're not taught. Okay, it is ichihon. It's like the word, right?
Mm.
And so it gets reduced down all the way to like ippon.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and for as much as like it does increase the load of like learning of patterns that you need, it does sound. It is nice to be able to reduce some of that like lengthy sounding clunky language into stuff like that.
Yeah.
I like it.
And once you get the feel for it, it's really easy to understand.
Yeah, you can often like be like, oh, that sounds like the other thing I've heard. Like it's enough of a pattern that you start seeing it everywhere else that it happens.
Yeah, and it helps you with kanji as well.
Yeah,
if
true.
you're trying to figure out how one would sound together.
Like, yeah, compound.
Because, yeah, compound. Because like gakko, right,
Yeah.
is like gaku ko, but
Yeah.
obviously you don't pronounce the ku.
Yeah, exactly.
It's too difficult.
Indeed.
And then, what was I gonna say? Yeah, like the counters in English, like, I think there's more variance in what each mean, because you can only say, like, ippon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nihon for, like, oh, I have one stick or two stick, but like English, like, I think depending on the like the word you use to describe it, like the counter you use, the property of the thing changes. Like it's more descriptive.
Right, yes, true. I understand.
It's more specific. It's yeah.
That's they're more
like the big
like
thing with English is that it's just
functionally
like synonym, like city.
like adjectives for the thing as well.
Yeah.
Or like it's properties of the thing that you're counting.
Yeah. I guess technically also that's the case in Japanese because
Yeah, that's true.
ippon is one stick.
Yeah.
Pon is like the yeah. Here's a bit of trivia, if I can. Did you know that the small cat when you're counting months, like when you say ikagetsu,
yes.
and
Wait,
you write it as a small cat.
Small car.
Ka?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's like the katakana ka as well, right? Like it's weird. It's a really weird
It
one.
could be. I think it can be both.
Really?
Is it?
Really?
I need to see it
Yeah.
right now. Oh, it is a cat. Like the
What?
It's a
the
cat.
character is
Yeah.
a cat, but you pronounce it car.
Yes. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello and welcome.
No. Not right now. I was looking back at like. So
I
this...
found
It can
out.
also be car. What?
Oh, see, yeah. I've seen
Yeah.
that before, but I haven't. Wait, let me see the cat. Small.
Huh? This.
Hold on.
Yeah, Ikagetsu.
Oh,
I
yeah.
found out.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Did you know? Do you know why it's small cat?
Eh?
It's actually the bamboo radical. And it's short for core, like the core counter,
Oh my gosh.
because on
What?
the
What?
yeah,
Fake made up language.
it's the old core counter. Nowadays it doesn't have it because instead it has the it's got person on the left, but it used to have the you can't see it very well. I'm too short. It has the
No, but it's there in the website that I linked. They have the alternate form, and it's literally core. What? That's crazy.
yeah.
What the heck?
For chat.
This is nuts.
What?
It's also used in I believe they use this kanji in Chinese for the same like counter, I think.
Oh.
I think no, this is a general counter, but that's a further simplification of the like half of the bamboo radical.
Oh.
Okay.
So that's why it's pronounced funny, is because it's actually shorthand for the counter.
That's so weird.
Right. So it's never been cat. It never was.
Yeah.
It was
right.
never cat.
No, that's
That's
actually
insane.
bamboo radical, but it looks that way
Yeah.
because. Yeah, great. Wow, that's insane.
They also use it in place names.
I see.
And I think in that it's pronounced ga.
Okay.
This Wikipedia article says there's a place called Aokigahara, and the small cat functions as no, because I don't know. Maybe ages back it used to be. Yes, yeah. A guy used to be possessive like ages ago.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
It's not used anymore, but in place names, if it's got the small cat in there, it means nga, which means no.
Wow, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it in place names sometimes. And I'm like, what?
Interesting. Now you know. Yeah, so I'm checking my consistency, and actually, out of the 24 runs today, only 2, 3. Well, there's a bit more that I restarted early, but like only 3 of these are like not 1300, which is kind of insane because that means my 1300 rate is like over 90% now. Like I can actually survive to the end of this up to 1300, which is really good. And then in terms of Tori breaking, we'd only done it once ever before today, but today I just smashed it 4 times. So again, I don't know if like today it was just particularly good, or if like the background noise was helping, or what. I don't know what it is, because I seriously didn't think I was gonna get good runs. I was like, I'll like have these on in the background and review, and then I'll throw some runs, and then I'll start doing practice for today. And then I got like that 433 or something, and I'm just like, hold on, yeah, what was it? Or maybe it was no, yeah, I got 432 and 431 in a row, and I'm like, why? And then yeah, we started runs, and then no, I think I got this run before I decided, okay, I should probably stream today.
Yeah, you did.
And then yeah, like look, 436 story break, 434, 41,
You're,
37. Like, I'm smashing it.
You are actually making like incredibly good progress.
Yeah.
So you're getting some really close ones.
Which means that hopefully, like, if I
sucks.
push just a little bit more, then I will get it like almost every time, right? Like it's not far off.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I hope. Because that means that I can actually clear the mode, and once I start clearing the mode, then I will hopefully be able to get, like, the credits, and then it's grinding the credits to get GM. Which is like, this is such a task. But I guess if I want to see 4.1, then it's like, sure, we have a bit of like a fun thing to aim for. Fun in some sense of the word. To aim for. So like, sure, gives us something to do in this game, which I don't mind, because the master grind was like, this is also repetitive, but at least you can feel yourself pushing at all stages of the mode. Like every second counts here, whereas the master one is like 1300 plus is what matters. Like the rest of it is important, but also like not like that, which is annoying, because it sounds like I'm now like rooting for torikans as the more interesting, but I don't think it's about interestingness, because I think master is still ultimately the most interesting mode here. It's just in terms of grinding it, because there's a line between what is an interesting mode and fun conceptually versus what's actually fun to like grind over and over, I guess. So it's interesting, but regardless, we'll come back soon and just like keep throwing ourselves at it, because I think it seems to be working, and it's a good way to recap, because this is the original series I used to learn Japanese with, and also the one I passed to Void as the first resource. And
really,
yeah, I think this guy is pretty good at just like being informal enough that I felt engaged when I was first learning the language.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean it like, oh my god, this sucks.
Oh no, but I'm just like I'm just talking about like what this is, why I decided to like yeah, start like learning Japanese more seriously. Well, not the reason why. Once I learned the kana, then I started looking for like, okay, let's learn the language. I don't even remember how I stumbled across this particular series either. It does like it does have a fair few views, but you know, there's a lot of different resources. So I just happened to find this one. But it does some really good stuff that I value in teaching too, like the in the actual videos themselves, the PowerPoints he uses, they have like they gradually introduce the kana, for example. Like he does a lot of that sort of thing where it's really building knowledge like block by block, instead of just throwing new concept, this thing, that thing. Like he's always bringing back previous lessons knowledge so that it really reinforces what you're learning. And I got to like, I don't know how many videos in it was, probably close to like 80-ish videos in. So now it's just like I'm running back through it, seeing if I missed a few things. Like these counters will be good for reviewing, because to be honest, I mostly just remember the Tsu counter and use that. It's like, oh, you know, I could stand to learn these other ones.
But then again, even with the Tsu counter, I can barely remember past like 6.
True, because
I'm really bad at the like native Japanese counting.
Sure.
And especially because I believe it's like the only counter that uses native Japanese past 5 or something. There's the day counter.
Yeah, day
day
has the weird
counter?
ones. as well. Yeah.
Day has we told you guys about like how Tsuitachi is it's special because it actually means Tsukitachi, like the moon stick.
I forgot about that, but I know you told us about it, but I forgot. Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
But you're right that it's very
I want
uncommon.
to. It's very uncommon, so it's not like I don't bother to,
Sure.
but I should. What I want to do is I'm gonna, because I finally have the money, I'm gonna buy Wanikani,
Oh, nice. Yeah.
and I'm gonna get the lifetime again on not again. I didn't get it. I had like a year or two on Boomper, and then I'll have something to do at work.
Yeah, the lifetime for Boomer is such a steal with everything they add. Like, I went back to the website the other day because, again, I was linking stuff to Void, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much, like, here now.
They've added so much
They
stuff.
just keep on adding
I remember
stuff.
back
So,
when they like added vocab, and I was
Yes.
like, oh, this is pretty neat.
Right.
But like now, I think they've actually like
Oh, it's fleshed out. Like, you click into a word page, and it's, like, as good as the grammar
Yeah.
pages are, or were.
well, they have points now. I can get a frame. Okay, whatever.
Sure. I mean, you know, if I'm doing those dailies instead of my Richi City dailies, then maybe I'd get somewhere. Oh, the
Do you
rankings.
know?
This is just by recent. Anyway, go on, sorry. Has some weirdo.
Yeah,
I was
literally
gonna
just
say-
typing that
Oh, thank you, Brew.
out.
Appreciate it.
I was like, oh, you don't have a commute or anything. You don't have something that you're made
Yeah,
to do
exactly.
every.
To do stuff like
So
in
it's like,
between.
oh, you can't do it on the train.
Yeah.
Or on the. Yeah.
Maybe I start like turning my DDR sessions into like actually instead of driving up there, maybe I just take this public transport so that I can like have that empty space of time. Like, I wonder if making that time for yourself is actually a good like life move.
I think
guess
so
that would-
because
that
I don't
might
know
be
about
one of the
you.
reasons
Like,
why I stopped doing Anki.
Mm.
Because I stopped doing Anki around the pandemic.
Oh
Yeah.
wow,
What
there
I
you
used
go.
to do was like
Huh.
do my Anki flashcards while commuting to work.
for a while,
So-
I was doing my kanji practice on the train because I got the app for my textbook that has like you can scroll through the kanji list on your phone instead of having to get out the textbook, which I had the PDF of it anyway.
Yeah.
But I could never find the actual like kanji list page because it's a PDF. It's impossible.
Sure, of course.
Do you have like? Can you like drive to the train station and then just like go?
Well,
from there,
actually,
or-
I think I don't know if there is a bus stop like basically right outside my house. Like, all I have to do is walk around the street, and then like there's a bus stop there. So I don't know if there is a bus from that location to the interchange, but if not, then like I could even. Yeah, I'm sure there's a route, right?
Yeah.
So like if I figure
Yeah.
out and it's not like that much longer,
Because
then it could be good.
Yeah, when I go to like, when I used to go to uni, right? Or even like, if I needed to go on the train somewhere where I wanted to, I'd like drive to the train station first.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because it cuts out like, the longest part is like for me was always getting to the bus stop, waiting for the bus. Sometimes it's early, sometimes it's late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to think about it then if you guys think it's a good idea. Yeah. Maybe it's the
That,
way
or
to
you
go.
just like make time.
Yeah, I know. It's just
like,
like a tricky thing, I guess. Yeah, could do. You know, doing something like I would make it the first thing you do in the morning could be great,
Yeah.
but I'll have to figure something out. Anyway, yeah, it's along the same line as like getting the passes in Starlight, where it was just like it was a very early investment, but I knew that they'd add like a lot later down the line because they had a really good roadmap.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I will get back onto that site at some point as well, because I think it's a really good practice resource, and also again like the dictionary there is incredible, like the grammar listing and all those things. Yeah.
Oh, it's great, isn't it?
It's really good. Oh, that's right. I was gonna say, looking back at these videos will also like kind of give me a checkpoint of like if Void asks me questions, I'll like also know like where he's at, so that I can like talk him through what might be useful or just like relevant to him.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, it's a really exciting time to be learning the language.
If Void wants help too, tell him to message us.
So
right?
real. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because I did a whole uni course. Like,
Yep.
I have technically done like a bachelor's
Yeah,
of this stuff, so yeah,
it's really good.
you could say I am legally skilled. Credited, however, is another story.
It's okay, we always knew you were an Ichibu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't need a fancy sheet of paper to tell me that.
Exactly.
I think if it wasn't for my my friend I call every week, and I would be way more rusty.
Yeah, I feel like that's gotta have been like really good for you, right?
Oh, incredibly
Just
good.
conversing in Japanese on a very
That's
consistent
possibly,
basis.
possibly the best experience to have
I think so.
without actually like going to Japan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really good.
Sometimes we do English, but also not all the time.
Yeah, it makes
Sometimes
sense.
It's, yeah. Anyway, like I'm so crap, like completely, because I have.
How did you
I'm
meet
getting
this
better
friend
at Sorry.
How did you meet this friend again? Was like through
This-
change in uni or?
Yeah, this was from uni. Like we had, the university that I went to, the other like last year or something.
Yeah.
They had some students from there who were doing like, who we had to do like an assignment with.
Okay.
So we would call like, at like every 2 weeks or something, every week, every 2 weeks, and fill out this like questionnaire form type thing, loosely based on like the chapter of the textbook we were on or something.
I see.
But we just hit it off because we have similar interests, right?
That's really
So
good.
it didn't end up fizzling out.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, I'm really lucky.
Mm.
It's still so annoying. I have to wake up early every Saturday, but I could be forgetting everything. And then I
Literally.
also, this sounds really dumb, but I have for the past, this would be almost 4 years, I've had a hiragana and katakana chart right next to me.
Sure.
And then I also have, this is not useful to me at all because I don't, I've learnt it, but like I have this printed out thing of all the high school grammar we had to learn,
Oh, wow.
which sounds like a lot, but it's only like 2.
Yeah, no, in like high school.
Well, hold on. Yeah. It's, yeah, like this is from like final year or something, maybe
Yeah.
a year before that. But it's good to have like a reminder, and it helps me with Like if I need to quickly go like, oh, is it like N sort
Yeah,
Su-
yeah.
she like I highly recommend it. Even just like the katakana chart, because by now, if you don't know all the hiragana,
Yeah, right. But oh my gosh, there was this.
I sure hope you do.
There was like one of the last pre events I went to. It was in Chiba. It's the Saki event, and they have this little like notebook where basically you can like sign it to be like I was here or whatever.
Cute.
And I went ahead and like the three of us who were there, Dan, Hiku, and myself, were like, we should write like Gaijin Jimu, and then I was writing it and it's fine, blah blah blah, and I get to cheat, and I'm like, what is the katakana cheat? And I'm just like standing there awkwardly for a moment, and everyone's like waiting for me to write it, and then I'm like like just puzzling through my head, and it's like, yeah, you just don't really remember the katakana the same way, huh?
No, yeah,
No, you
katakana is,
don't.
like, impossible.
Yeah.
Because katakana you have to like because of how you see it, you don't see a lot of the rarer ones.
Yes.
Very much.
Yes.
It's like exponential in terms of like you see these ones all the time.
Yeah.
You'll never see these ones.
Exactly.
I don't think I can. Like I think I can recognize most katakana if I see them, but I definitely not write them. Not at
Yeah,
all.
right? Exactly.
Especially not in pen on paper. That would be impossible. Because I
could
really
never
don't
recognize
do that at all.
all of them.
Even hiragana was probably like a
obviously-
challenge at this point.
I can recognize all of them. I could not like you couldn't tell me like okay, write katakana nu. Like I don't know.
Oh yeah, what? No way, man. I don't remember that.
It's foo with a second stroke, but you have to also know what foo is, which is why without the little tick on the side anyway.
Thank you, Finner. Very useful kana.
My favorite
I
kind
think
is Wii.
the kana for Wii is one of the funny ones. The one of,
It's a funny
I
one.
mean,
It's
like, it is
like,
one of those that you don't use, but like it is the one that has like a curly thing at the end.
Yeah, it's the curly. That's what everyone remembers.
Yeah.
The curly. That's all you remember.
No, that's wet.
Oh no, man.
Wii is the is new without the
Oh, Wii is
Yeah.
new. Yeah.
wet is the ru with the curly. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
the really strange one.
where
I
is
really
the? Yeah. I see. Yep.
Where is the one that you're like, oh, I was writing do, and then someone bumped over my shoulder.
Yeah.
Yes. True.
This is also like a little bit of like I'm probably a little kind of autistic, but probably whatever.
Maybe to say that.
Hi.
What makes you think that? Oh. But learning the origins of the kana is actually like it's not useful at all, but it helps me remember.
Yeah. It's something you can attach to it.
It also helps. It helps with RTG, believe it or not. I think. Yes, no, it actually does. And it helps. The one time we were in class, and this is so bad because it's just like the height of like I'm going around off to the side, and then I come back and I somehow understand. We were talking about like population growth or something.
Sure.
And they use like kaeru, right? Like ka to add. And I was like,
Sure.
Oh, like, oh, I don't know, maybe is it ka? Because it looks like ka with the
looks like
because it looks like ka
Yep.
because the third stroke on ka, the little tick, is the box, right? The mouth. And then also it's the ka in America.
Yes.
So yeah.
That's so good.
Oh, I love RTG. I love Bear Koku. Why is America called Rice Country?
Right.
It is actually because rice means America.
Right here.
Right.
Mac is, wow, so
Exactly.
Australian, Finno.
Yeah.
Nice. So Australian. Okay, friends. I'm gonna go refill my drink bottle and then I'll get set up for Puyo, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and set ourselves up for Puyo. I actually already prepared the announcements and everything for it, so I'm so like on the ball today. It's great. Alright. Yeah, if you're here just for the TGM or for the Japanese event, well, I mean, there's still going to be a bit more discussion of that, maybe. But, yeah, thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you all whenever I do TGM next. We'll see. But, yeah, if you're sticking around, just give me 1 sec. I'm going to just reboot the stream so that we can split the VOD. So, hang tight, everybody.
Okay.